Hello and welcome, friends. We're going to start this session number 5, titled A Great Upheaval, at a lush green forest, a forest that is fairly familiar to our friends. They've recently passed by it, the Ardeep Forest. And this lush green forest suddenly, as if a line has been drawn through it, turns desolate, sickly, this mucky swampland, just a line right through the greenery to what can only be described as death. This forest is clearly dying. There is a stillness to the place. The clean flowing river stops abruptly and becomes murky and stagnant. There's burnt trees and what looks like were once homes. They lay burned in rubble and ash. As we pan around this scene, arrows, axes, spears, and bodies lay covered in muck, filth, and blood. One large tree, kind of at the center point of this swamp, tries to cling to what life it has left. You see only a handful of green leaves hanging at the top of this tree, as it looks like a sickness is climbing up through it, rotting it from the bottom up. In the base of this tree is a hole, a large one, and you see several elves gathered around a darkened figure, which lies in what looks like a bedded nest of leaves and foliage put together. It's completely quiet, and as they huddle around this figure, a pained voice faintly whispers as everyone leads in, and the voice pleads, "Please, please bring him to me. Rond, please find him." And the leader of this elf tribe, he looks around and he says to her, this sad wisp of a voice, that our scouts reported just a day or so ago that Nightstone recently fell under attack from giants. Many were hurt, several killed, and the rest ran. I think there is very little chance that we will. And the voice cuts him off. He's fine, Rod. I know he's fine. I can still feel him. If there's any chance to stop this, please go and find him. The elf stands back and looks at his remaining men and women of his scout force that he has left from the brutal orc attack, this invasion that they just fell under. The numbers have been cut down by more than half. He looks at his daughter, Enoch, who kneels close by the elder, sadness in her eyes. He thinks what a troubled time they have fallen upon. The ear seekers, the orc tribe that attacked them, they've been enemies for years, but they've never went to such extreme to destroy the forest and the city like this. The city of Nightstone, where he's just been basically told to go, has never been a place for friendly faces or allies, even with the treaty recently called. He steps outside and wonders what now. And as he does so, a rough wind hits him unnaturally in this kind of forest area, and it carries dead leaves and the stench of death. He absentmindedly whispers to himself, "A storm is coming." And Ron watches as this wind carries the smell of death through the forest, this wind blowing southward, carrying its death towards the surviving forest of Ardeep Forest, towards the city of Nightstone, towards civilization itself. And now we jump over, and we currently find ourselves in this dark, murky cave. A handful of huddled, scared villagers of Nightstone. They look up anxiously as they see Livy and Sunny up on top of this ledge with whatever kind of light that they can produce. I believe Livy said she casted a light spell or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they see you standing there, and the children kind of cheer as it seems like their saving has finally came. You see Morak, the dwarf, Morak Uragray, who Winston Uragray quickly comes to the side of the ledge and yells out for his cousin, and you guys quickly kind of drop a rope down and start helping everybody up. It doesn't take very long or very much trouble at this point as you look around this cave where you just had a pretty massive battle with 2 ogres and several goblins. You get all of the civilians up. I think it's about 17 commoners in total and a couple guards. What do you guys wish to do as we now have the city of Nightstone, what's left, kind of around you guys?
Octavius would be tending to any injured, sick, or scared people from the cave.
There's definitely a couple of like minor injuries, but the thing that you notice most apparently, without even a medicine check, is people are really thirsty and malnourished. It's been clearly a while since anyone's drank or ate. Winston would speak up and say, "We need to get these people back to Nightstone. They need a good night's rest and some food and water in their bellies."
That would be most wonderful. Like we would help escort
Well,
and whatnot, just like
let's get going. She takes another drink.
no.
Yeah, I would look up to Sunlit, Warren, and just look at them and say, it seems as though they really just suffer from dehydration and rest. We should try to get them back to Nightstone as fast as we can.
Well, let's get them up and mobile, and I'll lead the way. She's pretty hurt herself, but she's certainly willing to go.
Can I cast? I would do an assessment of my friends as well as I was doing an assessment of everybody else, and I think I still have.
Well, if we take a short rest, I can use some hit dice, and I'll be happy to do that.
Assessing
Would that
the
be allowed here, sir?
It's totally up to you guys what you want to do, absolutely. But Octavius kind of assessing anybody. The only one with actual injuries, I believe, the townsfolk are all completely fine besides malnourished. Sunny has taken some pretty significant damage, and I believe Livy has been hurt a little bit too. Alara is badly injured, but back to stabilize, and she's actually in Winston's arms, who is kind of just helping her along. And other than that, I think that Warren managed to get through that.
Yeah, I'm totally good.
I think that that would naturally bring Octavius to Livy. And hello, are you okay? Is there any help that we can offer?
Well, getting us back would be probably the best. Like I'm okay. As you probably see this bruise or just kind of small cut along her side of her head or something from whoever attacked that gotten her earlier in the scuffle. But for the most part, she's holding herself upright and seeming perfectly fine. Consider she probably looks the best out of all the others who haven't eaten for days and whatnot. Where it's like, yeah.
I think Octavius would just look at her and say, "I saw you fighting bravely. Thank you for the help. My name is Octavius, and you are?"
I am Livy Caspian. And it's a pleasure to meet you. And she will hold a hand out, kind of giving this almost theatrical kind of just little bow. And it's like, And this here, and she would also point out an elderly man. This is my grandpa. We're in a corner, and so, kind of fortunate.
The old man would kind of smile at you guys and say, "Oh, greetings! You guys clearly look like a group of adventurers. How fortunate, don't you think, Livy, that these people showed up and saved us?"
Well, absolutely.
Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday.
And to think I had a chance to fight with them, like that's just gonna be one of my stories. Like I cannot wait. She just has like this giddy grin, like, oh, I have another story to tell. Experience.
Livy, can you help us get all your people and gather them so that we can go to Nightstone?
Yeah. And it looks like everyone follow Octavius. He will lead the way, and I will bring up the rear.
Bunch of kids cheer. Yeah, Savior's here. And are you guys leaving, or I know?
I don't know. Do you think we should do something fun with the kitty and the kids, with the big kitty cat?
We can make it a game. Like they could chase you. I was just telling them a story though about a dog who's a very hungry dog chasing a cat. So
I think with that,
it kind of seems a little.
I think Octavius would just look at Warren and give like the, oh, geez.
You'll notice Warren to the side. He's pretty much just kind of leaning against the wall. Whenever anybody kind of talks to him or looks at him, he'll just kind of give a little bit of a grunt and kind of glowers at him, not in the best of moods, really.
Oh, my.
Livy will not notice this, and she would at some point just kind of like, and who
Is
might
that
you
guy
be?
in the party?
Just like, hi, I'm Livy.
Warren.
Warren, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming and helping.
Yes, it is very nice to meet me.
My aunt's gonna be so pleased to. You guys are such a great help, and whew.
You will be.
As we're hopefully moving along, like this is kind of like conversation that I'm hoping is happening as we're like traveling towards the exit.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you guys can absolutely start leaving. And as you do so, everyone give me a perception check real quick.
Yep.
Right up on the skills.
Probably look to Sunlit and see if she could do a quick scan of the room too before we leave, see if there's anything worthwhile.
Try that again, Mary.
Oh, man, I missed.
Who are we missing? We got there we go.
I got.
I don't see Corey's roll yet. All right, no, I see Corey's. I don't see
yeah,
There
I'm
it is.
supposed to grab the die, right?
Yeah, you can just double click it.
It's unable to open window using wildcard link.
That's interesting.
Mine was doing that last time. I ended up having to close my character sheet and pop it back open.
Let me try that.
I'll roll it for you while we wait. Livy and Sunny would both kind of hear some sort of ruckus coming from the northwest corridor. This little tunnel that kind of seems naturally dug in the cave. But you guys are basically, for the most part, out of the cave, if you want to just say to heck with the cave, or
Considering that Livy hasn't eaten or drink or slept properly for a few days, I don't think she would be quite in the mind to let's further this adventure.
fair enough.
Other than she's very happy to be saved.
All right. And Sunny, since you're the only other person that hears this, are you just as content to go on with your day?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So you guys, you leave the dripping cave and put it behind you. As you look, the villagers, there's just a plethora of faces that you see. There's even a tiefling family. There's a bunch of young children. Let me see in total. I'll tell you for sure. but there's quite a bit of people. There's over 20 people that you managed to save, and they all look pretty, like their clothes once probably looked pretty decent, but now are covered in muck. Everyone is kind of sheltering their eyes as they walk out into the sun for the first time in over 3 days. And for the most part, you're able to head back to Nightstone without any problem. Morak would kind of come up to you guys and say, "Oh, so it must have been Valrosa that sent you, right? I'm surprised she wasn't here."
Who?
Valrosa, the High Steward of the town.
I am sorry. She did not make it.
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about.
She didn't make it. What do you mean? That can't be true.
She's dead.
Yeah, I think she's gone, buddy.
Kind of hangs his head low, and just those giants. I don't. Why would they do this to us? Aaron would kind of pipe up Livy's grandpa and mention how it is incredibly strange that giants, cloud giants, would attack on a southward wind on a sunny day in Lent. It's very peculiar that when the wind was blowing southward, that cloud giants would attack.
Why do you say this?
Well, it's just not proper giant etiquette. Cloud giants never attack on Elent when the wind is southward.
But apparently they do sometimes.
Exactly. And that is very troubling to me.
Was curious.
But anyways, let's get back to Nightstone. And as you guys kind of come to Nightstone, you do remember that it has suffered quite a bit of damage. The rocks obviously pelted throughout it. A not so small dragon may have crashed into a guard post that kind of was on the left side of the drawbridge. The villagers all kind of gather in the square, and everyone looks around and just mention of how much work needs to be done. Can't help but be the talk of the town.
All together until we can have things almost back to normal.
Mm-hmm. Winston would come up to you and say that I did promise you money for helping me find Morak, and you did. So I have to talk to him about it because it is kind of his savings, but I'm sure he won't have a problem with it. These people, they have a lot of rebuilding to do. And with High Harvest just around the corner, I know it's a lot to ask, but is there any chance that we could get your help? If the city doesn't get repaired at least somewhat before winter comes, then...
And a bigger reward.
Are you getting? I'm be happy. We I don't think we have anything pressing, do we, Grandfather?
Oh, no. This trip has turned out to be quite an eventful one. Almost reminds me of my heyday, but now, if anything, we should give Valrosa a proper burial, and all those who else.
A lovely memorial would be nice too. All of us.
And what does everybody else think of the thought of helping Nightstone kind of rebuild?
I don't have any problem with that.
And how about you, Mr. Warrendale?
I was gonna say I didn't realize I was muted. Warren will just kind of clap Octavius on the back, and they think we look like carpenters.
Yeah, I don't get it. Why would they think I can build anything?
I'm no carpenter, but I can certainly help under the direction of one.
Yes. If we all work together, I'm sure that we'll be able to at least get the city back to a livable state.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm willing to help. I'll do absolutely anything I can to help, but I don't want to hinder what we're doing farther than help it.
Yes. And Warren does not take direction well.
Well, you could definitely be the director, of course, if that's what you're into.
Well, we are done helping Winston, and I can't really think of anything else other than these cloud giants we need to look into. So,
With everyone pretty much in consensus, then we'll go about that. The very first day is spent resting and recuperating. There's not really much that's done, so everyone can have a long rest, no problem. And I can actually do that for everybody. So let me just long rest and give you guys all your stats back. Long rest. There, everyone should be back to normal.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
The very first day is spent quite laborlessly. The big thing that they're worried about, not necessarily is the rocks, because that is going to be a pretty serious ordeal to get all these massive, like, ogre-sized rocks out of the city. The first thing that they kind of do is start rebuilding the roofs on the temples, the inn, and all that. And it is quite a tiring day, but nonetheless, you're able to go through that without much problem. I'm sure that Warren Dell kind of barks out a couple of orders and tells everybody what to do. I imagine that you guys are kind of in your own party.
Livy would be trying to take a moment with like the adventurers, like especially like say during a break, if they're all kind of grouped together, she'd just kind of come on over and be like, sit down, take a drink, and just like, so where are you guys? Like, are you guys like an actual adventuring group or something, or like, what have you guys been up to? You just look like you've seen a lot.
Yes. These are my men, Octavius and my furry little crotch kicker. They're very well. They behave.
I just a little smug smirk at that.
What's been the best adventure that you guys have had together so far?
That time when we rescued a town.
Ah, yes.
Really?
Good memories.
Yeah, like this one right now.
Wow. So
I took a
cool.
dragon's
You guys
treasure
can
once.
Hey, you fought well in that cave.
Thank you. I've been a trained fencer, and so that was actually my first time actually, being in a battle or fight. I don't know. I don't even know what the right word is for it. Like my grandpa's talked about so much of his adventuring days, and so I don't know. I just figured after all my training was done,
You want to adventure?
very much, yes.
Did you say
in
you
the
stole a
top of-
dragon's treasure?
Wait, what about Dragon's Treasure?
I tell you some other time.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, you must have made a dragon very angry if you did that. I tell you, that's actually no. My grandpa, and she'd go off on kind of this little story about just how he got his. Where it's like, yeah, there was this blue dragon and whatnot, and like they didn't even take. Well, they took an oracle, but they left all the other treasures. But man, was that dragon mad? So if you took some treasures from a dragon, you're asking for trouble.
He was a wee bit upset. Just a wee bit.
Yeah, so
I look around, look up to the sky at that point.
It's a lovely
Don't
day.
worry, Octavius. I'll protect you.
Winston would make some kind of offhanded remark about how it seems like all of you have a friend or some kind of running with dragons. Thinking back to when Fagolas showed up at the town.
Yeah, we just saw one just the other day.
Really?
Yeah, my buddy Saul.
Goodness, we were in like, I didn't think we were here.
Right in the city.
Yeah, you might have taken down the guard tower a little bit, but don't tell anybody.
As you look over there, you see that one of the worst jobs that they're having the hardest time doing is trying to rebuild the guard tower that has the drawbridge, and the mechanism for the drawbridge actually seems a little bit messed up right now, so they're not even fully able to close it.
I'm not sure what they're talking about.
They should give that when they rebuild it. They need to call it the Dragon Tower or something, just because the dragon demolished it.
So what I'll let you guys do, just to see how well the city rebuilding goes, is everyone can say one thing that they're trying to do. It could be
Morale boost.
and then yeah. So basically a skill challenge. And the way I do these is everybody can choose a skill that they're proficient in and try to describe how that they're using it to overcome this challenge. And depending on how well each person does will determine how well the city gets rebuilt. And since Livy seems to be waving her arms fiercely, that she seems to have something she wants to do.
Yeah, I guess it'd be under persuasion for her. But she doesn't know, Mary. Come on, you should really do. Maybe an insight would work on that. Like if she's kind of assessing like how everyone is, like being able to lift their spirits and whatnot when they seem like they're tired and like I've moved like the millionth stone today, and she just be like, "Come on, I'll help you," and like just using that insight of like how everyone is to try and.
Yeah, that works for me. Go ahead.
Yes.
You feel out everyone's emotions and mentally support them potentially.
Good work. Try again, Mary.
Still not working, huh?
Yeah, still not working.
Maybe try signing out real quick and coming back in. I'll roll for you in the meantime. And you rolled incredibly well with a 23. So absolutely feeling out kind of who's the most tired and needs cheering up and all that. You kind of go around and lift most people's spirits up, and definitely you actually move along the rebuilding of the inn to a point where the roof actually gets recovered up. Who wants to go next?
All right, I'm ready to go.
Go for it.
So, I would like to use acrobatics,
Okay.
and I am going to go over to where the newly dubbed Dragon Tower
Mm-hmm.
is,
Yes!
and I'm going to help them by climbing up to the top of the thing and help them to fix the tower.
Beautiful. Go ahead and give that a check. You can actually do that at advantage, actually, because I like that you're paying attention.
Lovely. Come on, move.
And yeah, so with you climbing up to the top, the villagers are basically, with your dexterity and ability to climb the tower, they're easily able to like shimmy bricks up to you, and you quickly work on the mechanism. And I'm not going to say that the tower is perfectly rebuilt in a matter of a couple hours, but you get the drawbridge working, which is really nice because that gives the townspeople some much needed security, obviously. And the tower is starting to look pretty good.
Yeah, it's starting to look. Can I roll a quick performance check here to
Yeah, go
see
ahead.
how much I can make it to look a little bit more like a dragon?
Yeah.
With the brickwork.
Yeah, go ahead. That's interesting, but.
Hey.
So within
Pretty high roll.
within a day's worth of work, Sunny manages to give what looks like a semblance of some dragon like horns or whatever at the top. I'm not going to say that she's a master mason by any means and has sculpted this beautiful dragon tower, but you guys can. She points it out, and you guys are like, yeah, there's some dragon horns on that tower, I guess.
I suppose that's what they are.
Yeah.
I like that though.
Hey, I worked really hard on that there, Warren. You can always you can for one time like say somebody they did good.
Maybe you should have put down the bottle before you did it, though, Sonny.
Yeah, it looks like a dick. So most of this whole day, you guys can just hear Warren barking out orders. The wind kind of gusts through here. You can see crackles of energy going up his sleeves, across his hands and stuff. He's like, get back to work, you bastards. And he makes these loud little rumbling noises. Shut up, Sonny. We not have time for this right now. We're trying to fix the city and move these rocks. And he just kind of barks out orders to all these people. I want to go with intimidation.
I like it.
I can see Libby like to the children that might be running around, like him, how he's barking out orders, just going, "Oh, he must have a swallow while it's stuck in his throat."
Damn little scruff rats! Get out of the way! Oh, and look at that!
Nice, nailed it. Natural 20. So yeah, with absolute authority and command, Warrendale just scares the shit out of everybody. The children are staying absolute clear. They're actually like, they're even behaving. They're just like sitting in a farm field, and anytime they get out of hand, he like scolds them, and they're just terrified of him. The 8 guards that are remaining, or 9 actually, work extra hard, and all the commoners kind of put together. And what's one thing that you want to pretty much knock out of the way within reason that's done in the city?
I was going to have them try just to move a lot of these rocks out of the way, these big boulders.
Yeah. So what we'll say is that you get all the rocks out of the buildings, which is a pretty big ordeal.
Okay.
So all the buildings that have rocks punched through them are completely out. And that's obviously pretty beneficial. So good job on that with the nat 20.
I'll have them all pile them like right in the center of town.
Perfect. What is Mr.
Ignore
Octavius going with?
Okay, I like this because I can actually incorporate Livy and Warren's into mine. So basically, as Warren is shouting all of these commands, you see Octavius basically trying to follow throughout these commands for Warren and helping him lead the people. And basically, Octavius is going up to different groups of people, telling them how to build levered actions to get these rocks out of the buildings in Octavius's famous ways. He's stating how he knows that, by creating a fulcrum point on the far left 90-degree flat angle of the left rod, with using these 3 sticks, we should be able to pry these. Oh no, it's okay, because mathematics law number 6 says that everything's going to be fine. And basically that everyone Octavius talks to, after he moves on and talks to somebody else, I can see Livy having to run up and console them and make them feel better about their day. And so, as Octavius is doing that, everyone is kind of doing their jobs as well. But really, Octavius is offering no help at all. You know shit. So it's good.
How you making a roller?
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing? Persuasion or?
I'm going with deception.
Deception? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Don't listen to the bastard.
I wonder why Libby's happened to go around like, come on.
Very pompously moving throughout the room,
pretty
trying
much
to
anyone you tell to do something, they're just completely and utterly confused by what you're saying. Like, the hell is he talking about? The mathematical rule of 6 and the whatever points. Like, this guy is. And then anytime they try to listen to you, a villager actually gets hurt following your instructions and is like written off for the day because like a rock fell on his leg from trying to do this contraption that you told him to do.
You got another leg. Get off your ass and use the other leg. Push it with your stump.
Yes.
We are an enforcing team.
So between Warren being there's rumors going around that Warrendale, this half elf, right?
Yes.
Is perhaps even meaner than the goblins that they were captured by.
I have another check that I wouldn't mind trying to make. But
Go for it. I'll give you guys one more.
awesome. This is going to be like, because this is going to be over the course of like days, I guess, but like in the evening, especially with how intimidating Warren is being, she would certainly spend her time telling stories at night and whatnot and getting her grandpa to help like recap some of his amazing adventures and just just trying to shed light once more. This happiness is like, yeah, things are bad, but it could be worse. And
I can make it
just,
much
trying
worse.
to keep that hopeful tone. And so we'll see what her performance check is. And toss that. Oh, well, clearly she's tired and slightly demoralized with how intimidating Warren's been. That her stories, as well as she's trying to be hopeful, they're probably come across more as just like, well, life's hopeless. And so
We do not have time for these stories. Get the rocks. Push
One
'em.
of the
this is
stories
the
you
end
tell,
of the day, Warren, okay?
one of the stories you tell of a dragon or something. One of the villagers mentioned how Warrendale reminds them of a cruel dragon, and it kind of just lowers their spirit that much more. As they're like, man, we got another day with this guy.
And she probably just has it there like, yeah, I guess. I've never met one.
But with that, you guys did pretty well. So we're gonna say that you started work on the 2nd or the 12th day of Lent, and within the 16th day, Nightstone is looking pretty good, pretty much back to normal. The rocks are still there, and a couple of, obviously that damage is going to be really hard to undo, but the buildings are mostly built, and the drawbridge is back to normal. They were able to work out, the city didn't have a lot, but they decided that they would go through Valrosa's kind of savings or whatever, her treasures, because they all believe that she would be very thankful for all of you, and you've all become pretty close with the city, with the exception of the overlord ruler Warren. And not only did you manage to gather the 45 gold pieces and 1 gemstone that Winston promised you for finding Morak, but the city was also able to put together 5 more gemstones, and all of these are worth 100 gold each, at least you'd suspect. So you guys got quite a bit of gold for helping this villager out. This village out. On the 16th day, though, it has fallen on your guys' turn to city watch at nighttime, basically. And on this particular day, or night, sorry, rain has started to pick up, and it seems like a storm is kind of blowing in, and it's up to you guys where you want to be on watch. There's still a couple guards, but with most of their guard force being killed, the only remaining city guard that they have is Alara, who, although she was injured pretty bad, is starting to get back to normal now. You remember Kayleen, which is one of the guard members that were too afraid to come. Torum, which was the man that was also too afraid to come. And 6 other city guards. So their forces are pretty hurt. So it basically falls upon you guys this night to watch the city, as High Harvest Tide is only a few more days away. What do you guys want to be doing as you're kind of watching out? What's that, sorry?
She's in her new tower.
Okay, she's in the Dragon Tower.
Because she hates the rain.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a wall around the city, or it's just that palisade type thing, right?
Yeah, just a bunch of wood, like
Right.
points or sticks, whatever, palisade, yeah.
No, there's a
Whichever
wall.
the case might be, Warren would be out in the storm because that's more of his natural element. So he'd be like wandering the town, or whatever they might need outside in this weather.
Okay, and also to kind of point out, I guess I should bring you guys back to the Nightstone map to help you out, but there is like little guard towers kind of post at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places, minus the 2 at the front gate. So up to you where you want to be. You're going to be just basically walking around the outside, or you're going to stay inside the...
Well, I'd be probably on the inside, but just kind of walking around, just doing the basic perimeter walk sort of thing. But clearly, this is Warren's element. He seems to be quite happy and in what could be considered a good mood on this wonderful breezy night.
Okay. What about Livy?
She is going up to the windmill to look out and about.
Okay. The windmill was burned pretty badly in the fight with the guys, but you're able to...
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea what happened to that.
It's not so much a windmill anymore, but
Still a high point.
it definitely is a high point, without a doubt. And
I did not throw a firebolt at that building.
Yeah, I have no idea. There's no. I wasn't even. I wasn't here when this got hit.
Shush! 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 Shush!
Be humming songs to herself and just have as much she can use. But yeah, she'll primarily be there. If she has prestidigitation, she'll probably try and make a little contraption to help keep the rain off of her.
perfect. And last but not least, what is Octavius doing?
Octavius will be standing proudly with his arms held and his hands on his waist, basically with his arms out. And he will be standing there beaming on the drawbridge, staring at the road, believing that this would be the best place to guard the town.
Okay. You just picture you're standing there with your hands on your hips. The rain is just kind of blowing on
Superman
you.
style, right?
Pouring rain.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. So as the night kind of goes on, the rain does start to get worse, and you look to the sky, and it's very overcast, but you see the occasional crack of lightning, and it does get to be a pretty constant downpour at this point, which makes it not the easiest to actually watch out for anything. So anybody that thinks that they would be watching out can go ahead and give me a perception, but it would be at disadvantage.
Octavius believes that his hearing is actually better than a lot of other people's sight. So he's going to try to do his perception with his ears.
Okay.
That was a 14.
14? All right, I'll let everybody else go first. I'm getting an echo off somebody. Okay, what is Warren saying? Sorry, I cut you off.
I was gonna say, I think he'd be paying attention to, like the surroundings, but he's more focused on, the weather and enjoying what's around him. So he obviously has that disadvantage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Isn't there a way to turn? Here, right there. Okay. And perception. Yeah.
And is Sunny looking out for anything, or is she just having a couple drinks? You're muted if you're trying to talk, Corey.
Corey's got messed up or something.
Oh, is it Corey's that's giving me the weird feedback?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Well, for now, we will say. Let me see. Actually, I'm still getting that.
Imagine Libby with her 11 on perception is, as the rain's picking up, is kind of listening to the pink, 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 pink off of her little magical disc thing, and how they're just like, that's really cloudy, and rain, just observing it, not really paying too much attention.
Perfect. Yeah, you're getting a little bit robot-y too, Mary. But
Oh yeah, I'll be back, people.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm getting a weird echo from somebody. But anyways, with a 14, and who else rolled high? That's about it, eh?
Yeah.
So it's a little too late because with the hearing, the rain obviously kind of covers it up. But what you hear, Octavius, almost sounds like a stampede or something.
Through the rain, like a weird other stampede through the rain?
Yes, something that at first you think it is the rain, and as you're just kind of standing there proudly waiting for anyone that's foolish enough to head on attack Octavius Wren, you realize that there's like something going off beat with the rain, and it is a very similar sound, but at the same time, it's definitely not the rain. It's pitch black now, and obviously you're a human.
I think
you
at
do
this
hear
point,
something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think hearing the offbeat concussion, that's obviously holding a different cadence than the rain. I think at this point I would cast light. Yeah.
Nice.
And I would cast it probably 20 feet. I'm not sure if I can cast it. It's not like dancing lights. I don't know if I can cast it away from me.
I think you can. Pretty sure.
You touch one object that is no larger than 10 feet until the spell ends. The object shines bright. Yeah, so basically I would lean down in front of me, and I would pick up the first stone that I saw, and I would cast light on the stone, and then I would throw the stone in a high ballistic arc, as high and as far as I could.
Okay, so you do so. And you throw it a good 20 feet, and as you do so, it illuminates just on the distance, much closer than you probably would like, but the shadows of at least 10 figures running towards you guys. And in their hands, actually, you now notice are a couple faintly lit torches. And it's at that moment that you realize that these aren't torches, because one of these things shoot through the air in your direction and fly over 30 feet and land. Let's see where it lands.
Oh, sorry.
Lands right by your foot as a flaming arrow sinks into the drawbridge.
Flaming arrow just sunk into my foot, like beside my foot.
Yeah.
With that, Octavius would Yeah, Octavius would yell if above and over the rain if he could close the drawbridge, and he would try to run in between the two main guard towers and hold his own there to see if they did make the drawbridge before it went up, they would have to meet me before they got into the town.
Absolutely. So you retreat, and Sonny, you hear Octavius' voice call out through this downpour, pull up the drawbridge. Now you know that the drawbridge has two mechanisms, one on each side, one in the Dragon Tower that you currently reside in, and one in the other, which actually has no guard in it right now.
So I would, is it a crank thing?
Yes, and it's kind of like one of those things where you simultaneously need to crank both of them because the chains basically connect to this mechanism, go up, and then kind of go out towards the drawbridge. And as you crank it, it pulls in the chains. But to just do one side wouldn't necessarily work.
So there's slots that I put into the new part of the tower that I'll be able to yell right out to Octavius from inside the tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll yell to him, you need to go to the other, I mean, that he needs to go to the other tower. So we can crank.
We have no time. Where's Warren?
I don't know. He's not here.
Damn it. Then I will meet these foes and hold them off, and I will run to the front of the drawbridge.
Okay. So you're gonna run to the front of the drawbridge. What do you do, Sonny? Guys, you're sitting there like cranking the other crank, waiting for Octavius to go to the other one and start cranking it up. What do you do?
I mean, yeah. How many people are out there?
You don't see anything actually. You can give a perception check and try to see, but that would basically be your turn.
Give me one. He's been a mother trucker. What? All right. I don't know. I'm gonna come out of the tower and look out the door.
You do see some light now.
Yeah.
From his spell, so you don't have to do it at disadvantage, unless you have dark vision, which would mean you didn't have to do it at disadvantage anyways.
Well, I have dark vision.
No, so yeah, you're at regular, just a regular old roll. You can count at least 10 figures that are less than 60 feet away. And they are armed and humanoid in shape, although their skin is incredibly kind of dark and they almost look, from the shadowy figures that you see, kind of feral almost is the best way to describe it.
Where's Octavius?
Octavius, I think, said he's heading out to the drawbridge to take these guys on head on.
When I come down there and see that, Octavius, this is not something you can win. And then I can be the end of my turn or whatever.
All right, so I'm going to say that between the yelling of these two, Warren and Livy, you guys are close enough to kind of hear something going on.
Libby's just having her time. Kind of hears these voices and looks over, just to be like, what's going on? And does she see any of these like lights glowing or?
Yeah, if you were to actually look over, you would see that outside of the drawbridge, which is now currently down still, is a light. And standing just in front of this light is Octavius, who has both of his hands on his hips and seems like he's probably calling out to something into the night. And you see Sonny behind him probably frantically waving him on, like to come here.
She will start making her way over, just a light jog, just kind of like, oh, what's going on?
To which I imagine you would hear that obviously something is coming, and you see in the drawbridge itself a fiery arrow. At which point another kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of it. A volley of arrows, come flying, and this time one does hit you, Octavius, for 4 damage. And this time, thunk, about 5 arrows come into the drawbridge.
Was that like 3/4 of the damage per arrow?
Steven,
and Now, Octavius, you can clearly see that there's about 10 orcs running your guys' way.
And
And if you just would have,
I'd yell to Sonny again,
But the
how's the
time-
drawbridge coming?
if you only would
Drawbridge
have
is
helped me,
down, obviously.
What about you, Warren, as you get the last kind of action before shit hits the fan?
So most of the night, Warren's been kind of hanging out in the center square area there where he's had everybody pile up these rocks. As the scene kind of comes in, you can see him sitting at the top of these rocks, the rain kind of pouring down around him, lightning kind of streaking across the sky. He just kind of sits there, brooding a little bit on his own. Looks like he's pretty deep in thought. When he sees, I'm assuming he sees these guys eventually, right?
Yeah, you could
Okay.
basically make it out if you were to come onto the scene.
Yeah, you can see Octavius out there and, Livy coming running up and Sonny over there yelling about something. He'll just kind of step down from his rocky outcropping there and start trudging towards him to see what the hell's going on.
And you see that what looks like herd of orcs is charging the front drawbridge. Sonny is like frantically yelling that we have to put it up. And you just see Octavius kind of standing at the drawbridge, like waiting to take these orcs on head on.
Okay.
And then with that, unless you're going to do something really quick, Warren,
Yeah, he'd just be moving towards them. So, yeah, that'd be it.
with that, I think now would be a good a time as any to roll initiative.
Rolling initiative. It's gonna be under me.
I don't want to roll initiative.
Did I do it right? I think I did. Woo!
Oh shit! I was excited. Got me all pissed off. And Octavius rolls a natural 20.
Actually, I rolled a 10, but it didn't take, so I rolled again. So I'll take the 10 if you want.
No, I'm fine with the 20 or 19, I guess, because you have a -1. All right. That means that first up is the super fast Sonny.
Yeah, well, it should be. All right, so what's in front of me?
11 orcs. We'll say that you see.
11.
Yeah. And they don't look very happy. They look very pissed off and completely covered in
I
muck.
understand they look pissed off. How well are they armored and stuff? Yeah, I mean, are they?
You see one that looks much bigger than the others, and he is carrying a giant great axe and has these 2 spears slung over his back, and just basically
Wonderful.
this necklace of elf ears that are all rotten all around his neck. He has what looks like a big handprint on his face that looks all bloody, and he is definitely like yelling at them in a language that you probably don't speak to, but what you can only assume as charge.
Yeah. I don't speak orc. It's not giant, right?
No, he's definitely speaking orc.
Okay. Well, I guess it's gonna have to be that time to go fight some people in the face. So she runs right up to the closest guy.
So they're still a distance back. They haven't actually taken their turn yet, so they're about like 60 feet away.
Oh yeah, they're still 60 feet away.
Yeah.
Hey, are they on the drawbridge?
No. So the drawbridge
I'm
basically.
gonna look over to
Yeah.
Livy. I'm gonna shout over to Livy and kind of hold my action that we're gonna try to crank the drawbridge.
All right,
And I'm gonna
absolutely.
hold my action to Livy's action.
Aye.
And next up, before that happens, is Octavius. You hear Sonny kind of call out to Livy to get the drawbridge, which you're currently standing on. There's a bunch of flaming arrows kind of sunk in. One in your shoulder, actually, which is kind of singeing hot. You rip it out. You see these orcs charging at you, 11 of them.
I will. Frig. Yeah, why not? I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, but I'm going to use it basically as a deterrent. So I'm going to cast 3 rays of fire, and I'm gonna basically make them go up from my hands in an intimidation fashion. So they'll basically come out and then go up in a large curve, and then come down and slam about 10 to 20 feet in front of the orcs into the ground, just as basically an intimidation. Stop what you're doing. Don't come any closer. That's it.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to make a roll, because I'm not actually trying to attack them, but I'm just trying to like throw the 3 scorching rays into the ground in front of them as a back off type thing.
All right, give me a intimidation check.
Sure.
Makes the most sense to me.
Not one.
Beautiful. So yeah, you definitely shoot some scorching rays up into the sky. They kind of fall down right in front of the orcs and explode. And that only seems to anger them that much more as they charge even faster towards you guys. However, do you do anything else on your turn?
I would stand. I'm making sure that I'm standing on the drawbridge so that if it does start to move up, I can back up.
Okay. Warren, you're up next.
All right. Am I able to move up beside Octavius?
Yep, absolutely.
All right. And how grouped up are these things?
For the most part, pretty dang grouped up. I'm not sure exactly how grouped up you're looking, but they're basically running in a herd.
Right. That's what I thought. Okay. You'll see Warren come up next to you, Octavius. He kind of looks at you for a moment. You can see this large smile on his face. He seems to be enjoying himself as he's soaked to the core by this rain. His hands kind of crackle with a little bit of electricity. I'm going to go with a shatter. It's going to hit each creature in a 10-foot radius, so I'm going to try and hit as many as I can. It's kind of up to you what that will give me.
10-foot radius?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and
creature in a 10-foot radius sphere.
Go ahead and roll it, and I'll let you know.
All right.
And that's a con save?
The center of the point must make a Constitution saving throw. Yes.
All right. They rolled pretty dang good. But go ahead and do your damage nonetheless.
You want me to roll that, or?
Yep, you can roll it. You should be able to just click it right from the spell. And does anything else happen if they fail? They get knocked prone or something?
Half. Creature takes 3 to 8 thunder damage on a failed save, half as much on a successful one. Not unless they're made of stone, crystal, or metal. Otherwise, nothing. No.
Gotcha. So, from what you can tell, you can actually describe how it works, although most of them do seem to save. So, go ahead and describe what half of or what 8 damage looks like from shatter. Or sorry, yeah, 8.
You can see this energy crackle up beside you, Octavius. It kind of coalesces up his arms, his legs. When he opens his mouth, you can see the lightning streak across the sky, and there's this massive thunder roll. It seems to almost emanate straight from him as it echoes around this valley area. He's going to move back his 10 feet as well with his spell. And it's just almost like sound waves that kind of emanate from towards these things.
Yeah, and actually as it does kind of like coalesce the sound, for a moment, the rain actually just explodes outwards as this pop, this loud thunderous crack just bursts from the center of the group. It sends a couple flying, but for the most part, they're still running forward. Next up is Livy, who is being yelled at frantically to close the drawbridge by Sunny.
She'll zip up to the other tower and ready to start cranking it.
Yeah, and we're both ready to go do our thing.
All right, let me just check your strength really quick. Livy is pretty weak, so I'm going to make you do an athletics check, but you can do it at advantage since you have Sunny on the other side, so it's not that heavy, but you do have a strength of 8.
Yes. All right, so, yeah.
Well, not 20 is probably going to be
I'll take that 20. She is like enthused. She's like, we're not gonna let this town get hurt again.
Yeah, so you guys like
the Dragon Tower. They will not ruin the memorial of my aunt. They will not take this town again. Wait, these aren't the same people, but I don't care. This town has already suffered enough.
Yeah, you power crank the shit out of that drawbridge, and it is practically almost up in one single turn. You guys will be able to finish that.
Really good pulley system that they got going on.
Yeah, thanks to
Even
the
though we
handiwork of Sunny and her marvelous engineering, the drawbridge is working quite well. That puts
Hell yeah.
that puts the orcs up, and as they realize, sorry, Octavius, as you're kind of standing on the bridge, it starts quickly going up, almost making you lose your footwork as the drawbridge itself is pretty wet. But nonetheless, I assume that you kind of shimmy down once it starts moving.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just either tumble or roll into the palisade.
The orc horde and what you can only assume is their leader kind of charge up, and since they're 60 feet away, they're going to use their full movement to get to basically the front of where this drawbridge. You hear them kind of hollering and shouting to in Orcish that you don't really know what's going on, but that puts us back up to the top of Sunny.
All right. Did we get it up in one turn?
We'll say that if you take whatever. We'll say that on your turn it goes up within. So basically, that's more than 12 seconds has passed. You guys are able to get it up.
Okay. So I would like to so I'll spend my turn to get it, all the way up.
All right.
And then I'll use my movement to go downstairs and see what's going on.
Absolutely. So when you head down there, you see that Octavius and Warren are kind of sitting there, and you hear the cries and yells of orcs across the drawbridge, which is basically, I think, 15 feet. A 15 feet gap is created once the drawbridge is up. So in theory, it should keep them out. But Octavius, what do you do as Sunny comes down and asks you what's going on?
I would look to Sunny and kind of glance over at Warren and be like, well, Warren sends a really cool electricity over there, but it seems like they're just an angry group of orcs with fiery arrows sending them in. We might have to get up and somebody might have to stay down here and put out the fires as they attack, but we should be able to hold them off at the drawbridge up, I believe.
Did you see how well that went up? I'm pretty proud of myself in that.
That was awesome. And then I think with that, Octavius will see who volunteers to stay on the ground, and if no one does, he will to put the fires out, and he will say that the other ones should go up and see if they should either fight or just wait out the orcs.
But it's raining.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the rain.
The rain is wonderful.
And the fire might not last. I see what you're saying, Livy, but, hey.
Although technically Livy's up in a tower still. Like, she would stay. But anyways.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
actually, just sunlight goes over into the other tower where Livy is, and you could go over in the tower that sunlight was in, the dragon tower.
Huh?
And well, you wanted to assess what's going on, right?
Oh, yeah. She would, my plan for her is that she would utilize
the rain. She doesn't want to be in the rain. She hates the water.
Does the dragon tower not have a covered area?
Oh no, it does.
So what is Warren doing throughout all this?
Standing out in the rain, he loves it.
Yeah, I'm definitely staying out in the rain. I'm actually just kind of waiting, hoping one of these things or these horde or whoever decides to go swimming, because I could work with that.
Work with that, nice. Okay. So do you want to climb on top of the tower and basically look over for when they do try to do something?
Oh, yeah, if I can get somewhere that's a vantage point, definitely. Either up on a tower or, through the wall, whatever.
We'll say that you climb the dragon tower since the roof isn't kind of fully done with that, and you climb on top and you can see that they're standing out there. And actually give me a perception check.
Let's see. Skills, perception.
You see jack all, besides that the orcs seem to be doing something across the drawbridge 20 feet away.
What the hell is this? Sunny, is this a dick you put on the top of the tower?
However, you ready in action?
It's a horn.
A horn. That's what they call it.
So you ready in action that if they jump in the water, you're gonna do something?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Livy, last before the orcs react, what do you do?
She is going to position herself towards like any slot or window-esque viewpoint, and she's going to get her hand crossbow out, and she's going to try and if she can lean out it, she'll lean out a little bit, but to one, get a look at the orcs, and two, to basically shout out to them, like, why have you come? Business have you here? And why are you shooting arrows?
Perfect. So first, give me a perception check to kind of survey the area.
Perception, come on, you know you want to give me a high roll. Yeah, 15.
The first thing you notice that they're doing is what seems like string is being swung around, and on top of this string is hooks, as it seems like they are gathering some grappling hooks and starting to whirl it in the direction of the drawbridge.
So I guess before she shouts out them, she'll just kind of make comment to Summit. Oh, the grappling hooks. And then she'll yell at them, hey, what business have you here?
And another thing that you notice, which kind of strikes you as strange, is you think you hear a scream. You look behind you, and as you look behind you towards where the inn is, you see that the roof has fire arrows sunk into it. And you see villagers kind of scrambling out.
Oh, man.
And as you look over that area, you see some more arrows being shot through the sky. Obviously, it's raining, so you have that on your favor. But volleys...
I'm going to shoot a crossbow bolt.
Volleys of arrows are being shot across into the inn. So yeah, what do you want to do? You want to
Are they coming from the horde?
If the leader's obvious and out front, she'll shoot at the leader, but otherwise she'll just kind of shoot at the horde.
So yeah, the leader is now kind of tucked behind. You could shoot at him if you want, but it definitely would be easier to shoot at one of his minions.
Yeah, she'd be shooting into the horde then, and trying to punctuate her. Let's see if that works. Did that work? Did that work? Did it work? Did it do it? I hit! Yay!
Yes, you did hit. So just to clarify, because I heard you ask Corey, these arrows do not seem to be coming from the horde in front of you.
Oops. Assumption made.
Yeah, because the town itself, if you look at the map, is fairly big. So it would not make any sense that the orcs would be able to hit the inn from where they currently are.
What?
But nonetheless, you hit the orcs for 6 damage, and that's actually enough to kill off one of the orcs. So you poke your head up, and do you actually abandon trying to talk to them, or is it like, what are you guys doing? Thunk, shoot an arrow and kill one, or?
Okay, I guess I assume that asking a question was kind of a free action.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't respond
okay.
to you.
She probably shouted that, hearing the inn roof kind of collapse, just assume that they are still being aggressive, and so that then would come the bolt.
Yeah, so absolutely. When you
wrap up of like, stop attacking us.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, when you do call out, they don't answer. So you, after getting no answer, and you see that something else is going on in the city, time for action. You pop up and you release an arrow, and it sinks into an orc's chest, and he drops to the ground. That still leaves them at about 10 orcs strong. Next up is their leader, Garrosh, and he is going to sink a grappling hook on top of the drawbridge and make a running swing and see if he will land into the water or if he can just Tarzan right across. So let me see that. His feet definitely sink in the water, and you notice it, Warren. But again, that's only one of them out of the horde. So I don't know if you want to take your action now or.
No, he wouldn't if it was just the one. No.
All right. So he is then going to start shimmying himself up, and also what he does is lets out this horrendous order in orc, and it ends with a one word of common that you can all understand is kill them all. and he lets out his battle cry as the other posse of orcs start to take the same action and grapple hook up. Let's see how well they do. They pretty much all fall in the water too, so you got quite a bit of orcs in the water at this point, although the leader is basically almost all the way up.
All right. Can I reach the grappling hook that the leader's on, or no? Is that over like on the drawbridge?
That's in theory it's possible. It's on the like reach with your hand.
Yeah.
It would be some kind of fandangled climbing. Like you basically need to climb on top of the tower and then precariously reach, if not kind of shimmy a bit out on the tower on the drawbridge itself. It's not out of the realm of possibilities, but it would definitely take some checks.
You'd probably look at that for a moment. All right. Seeing that most of these orcs are at least touching the water or whatever, I don't know what you would want me to do, but here's my basic idea. I'd like to either use my Shocking Grasp or Chromatic Orb. Normally it only targets one, but I was trying to like hit the water since it's all electricity and try to do something, like hit a bunch of them or something. I don't know, if maybe less damage to them, or you can split the damage, or whatever you think works, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying. How much damage does the
Well, Shocking Grasp is touch, so I was going to either, if I had used that one, I would touch the leader's grappling hook. If not, if I could use Chromatic, or preferably, I can make that electricity. That's like a 30-foot or a 60-foot range. It does 3d8.
Yeah, so go ahead and do that. And I'm going to say that that's normally a roll to hit spell. But for one, since they're all in the water, all you need to do is hit the water, which is mundane for you. So you definitely hit them. And roll your damage, and I will determine how that gets distributed out between all of them.
Cool. Let me find which one it is here.
So basically, I'll just give you a free hit. And
so you guys can see this energy kind of crackle up Warren's body once more. This bright ball of blue light right in the palm of his hand, almost like my picture has there. His hands light up. You can feel the wind kind of blast against his clothes as they buff it out a little bit. And then this bright flash, the streaks of lightning coalesce across the top of this water, lighting up the whole area. And not the greatest, but hey.
Absolutely. But that's well enough. Let's just add that on. And you see them all kind of start to basically get electrocuted as they hold on. So I'm going to give them another dex check to see if some of them fall off. And a couple do, but you do not take any more down with that kind of damage. But you definitely set some back as only about 5 of them start shimmying up, and the others will have to spend their turn climbing up.
Beautiful.
So on their turn, they're going to make a athletics check to see if they get over. Which you see some of them do start to pull over. And is there anybody outside? I believe it's Octavios, right?
I'm outside, but inside the town. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, a couple of orcs basically fall down in front of you, and they pull out their spears and try to attack you. Let's see if they do so. We got a miss, and we got a hit. Let's do that. You take 10 piercing damage. Basically, these 2 orcs fall, and you're immediately kind of engulfed in combat with them. One of them lunges a spear at you, and you deflect it with your shield. The rain kind of just falling on you guys all. The lightning cracks across the sky, lighting this up. And what you see is while you were determined to block the one, another orc snuck behind you, and he sinks his spear into your back leg. That ends the orcs. You, Livy, would see some more screams as the villagers are running out of the buildings. It seems like more and more arrows are being shot, and the inn is actually, even through the rain now, starting to light up. That brings us back to the top of initiative, which is Sunny. You two now, everyone in the party would now know that the inn is on fire, and that it's obviously not possible that these orcs are the ones that are doing it.
Right. So, how many people are hanging from the drawbridge right
So about 3 are left climbing, or 4 are left climbing, and 5 are in the water, basically getting ready to climb.
So if we just unlatched it, it would fall, right?
Yep, you would need to climb out a bit, but you could definitely unlatch some of those grappling hooks and knock them.
No. If we were to unlatch the drawbridge, it would fall.
Oh yeah. You would need to. Yeah, there's enough in each tower to do so.
The other drawbridge tower, right?
Yep.
So I would scream out to Octavius to unlatch the drawbridge and it would fall. Maybe we can crush them.
Cool. So it's not Octavius, actually, now that I think about it, it's Warren, because Octavius is in combat with the 2 orcs, but
Yeah,
Warren definitely is in the other tower.
Okay.
So you're going to ready your
I
action
wanna
to
do
do that?
Yep.
All right. Octavius, you have 2 orcs on you now.
Well, that's not nice. I'm gonna have to deal with that somehow. I think at this point, there's 2 orcs in front of me, between me and the drawbridge, right?
Yep, the drawbridge is up. They just basically hurtled over it, and there's 2 on you now fighting you in front of the drawbridge.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Thunderwave, originating from me towards the orcs to smash them up against the drawbridge.
All right, go ahead and do so.
Con DC is 13.
Okay, that's Dex or Con. Sorry, you said Con. 1 fails, both fail.
All right. 7 damage.
Beautiful. So describe what that looks like as you actually knock one back, and you don't kill him actually, but you knock him back pretty good.
Basically, as it's raining, all you see temporarily is like Octavius just to start open his mouth, and the raindrops around him just basically stop falling. They all kind of hesitate around him. And as his energy builds, you can see these raindrops in midair just starting to vibrate and kind of shatter and spike out. And then as he basically just screams at both orcs, all of the raindrops turn into like basically dagger spikes and go rushing towards the orcs as everything around goes rushing towards the orcs. And one of them basically gets blasted up against the drawbridge, and then the rain starts to fall normally again.
And that knocks them prone if they fail, correct?
I'll take it. I'm not sure though. Hold on. In addition, unsecured objects are completely within the area, automatically pushed 10 feet away.
I'll just so they're both pushed back against the drawbridge, and you actually hear the drawbridge kind of splinter a little bit from the force as they're no longer on you. Do you want to move back, or do you want to just stay engaged with them?
I'll actually start to rush towards the inn.
Okay, you're going to rush towards the inn. Perfect. And as you do so, you start to see villagers flowing out and screaming that we're under attack. You see Morak saying that they are attacking from the northeast on a ledge. There's archers. And that there's guards posted at one of the guard towers that are trying to deal with them, but there's a lot. You also would see down from the south that people are running to and yelling, and that there's like a woman, a tiefling woman carrying her 2 kids, and she is also yelling that there are orcs climbing the broken bridge towards the keep, as it seems like you're being assaulted from many different sides now. You end your turn there? You're good with that?
Yeah, I'm done.
Warren, you're now up as Octavius runs, and I imagine he says something like he's going to check on the inn. Sonny is calling out to release the drawbridge. What do you do?
Can I see the 2 orcs that he thunder waved?
We'll say yeah.
Right.
You would hear it and then look down and see the commotion.
And pulling the pin or letting this drawbridge down would be my action, correct?
Yeah, we'll say so. Although you still have a bonus action and movement.
Great. Well, in that case, I'm going to use my Quicken spell to use my Acid Splash on these 2 orcs that are down there as my bonus action.
Nice. Well, I got a dex save.
Dex save DC 13, yep.
All right, let's do that. 1 passes, and the other rolls exactly a 13.
Damn. All right.
That's
So you see this splattering of acid completely miss these two. And with the other action, yeah, pull the drawbridge if that's what she's doing on the other side, then yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so basically I imagine that there's a pin in it and you hear her yell out and then you just basically shoot an acid splash and then you jump down, kind of grabbing onto the ladder, you shimmy down quickly, like basically power sliding towards the mechanism. You release the pin and then with like a groan, you just hear that the chains release and the mechanism starts spinning rapidly as the chain starts coming out, whipping out from the lock, and the drawbridge just with a sudden fall, like a thunderous boom hits, and the bridge itself starts to splinter as all the orcs that were climbing on it definitely are falling in the water. And let's roll up. Let's say that we'll say 2d6 for falling 20 feet and 1d6 for the fall into the water. So go ahead and someone roll me 3d6. I'll give it to
Give it to Corey.
Yeah, I'll give it to Corey since it was his idea.
All right.
And I'm going to give them a save to see if they take full or half damage. All right. So the leader definitely failed, and there's a mixture from that.
Okay.
So total of 12 bludgeoning damage. So Garrosh takes all of that. And the rest of the horde takes a whopping, what is that, 6 damage? Yep.
Yeah.
So that ends Warren's
And-
besides
No,
movement.
wait
do
a
you want-
minute. And there's no smashing damage from him getting squashed by the fucking thing? I thought that
Yeah,
would
so-
cut his ass in half.
I'm gonna assume that they were smart enough to like let go and fall into the water, so it was more like a kind of falling damage. I gave it 20 feet plus an extra d6 for the
Oh, no, I'm not mad. I'm just saying.
yeah.
It's
But,
like, oh.
Warren, do you want to move anywhere, or basically are you just good staying in the tower?
How many orcs are left out there? Yeah, I mean, he would kind of step out and take a look to judge how many's out there before he decided which way to run.
So currently we're looking at about, I would say, leader plus 6 orcs.
Okay.
So yeah, you haven't really killed that many, honestly.
Seeing Octavius running between, is Livy she running too?
Her turn is next, but she could say what
Okay,
she plans
okay.
to do. You're muted, Mary. Because
I'm
I'm gonna,
assuming Warren would most likely be running to help Octavius as well, because he's not going to really want to stick and try to melee with 6 orcs plus
Yes.
another.
so you can like spend a free action to speak and tell them what you're doing and what you want them to do, or you can just
Yeah,
run.
Mr. Bossy Pants.
Yeah, I would just run. Yeah.
All right. So Warren takes off after Octavius, leaving you, Livy, with the sound of this drawbridge falling, almost kind of crackling like thunder itself. You see that all the orcs have fallen off, but as you look over into the pier hole, you see that there's still 2 that made their way in, and it's obviously they're not going to give up trying. This doesn't thwart their plan. They're just in the water now and have to climb out. What do you want to do?
Yeah, she would have like had that instinct to just want to run too, but when Warren runs off, it's kind of like, shoot, okay, there's one still left. And using her, well, I suppose advantage from being up in the tower, she would aim her crossbow once more out at whichever one she can see and shoot at the remaining horde, or at least one.
Okay.
Of them.
So just to give you a guideline, you can shoot at the leader if you want, but shooting at the horde is easier to thin out, probably. The leader looks fairly tough. So I'm gonna.
I think she would probably try to pick off a weaker one, so that way,
Yeah.
Because if it comes down to Lisa, she can at least probably face to face with him with her rapier.
So you see an orc that has just been flung into the water, and now he's climbing up basically on this muddy embankment, and it's rather tough for him to do so. So it's pretty easy pickings for you to shoot them. Go ahead and do your damage.
Yeah, 9.
9, very nice.
Right, and another one down.
All right, and that does put the orc horde at 5 orcs now. As half of them have been killed.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait for an extra attack. But in the meantime,
All right,
does crossbow? No, crossbow doesn't get a bonus, right?
correct.
Okay, just want to make sure. All right, that's it.
All right. So first, Garrosh is going to make a athletics check to see if he can climb out now that he doesn't have his grapple hook. But he's a fairly strong orc, and he rolled over 20. So he pulls himself up, and he's going to use his bonus action, which gives him much more speed than you would think that he would have after that. So basically, it's giving him some extra movement, and he is actually going to charge inside the gates itself. And give a sniff to see if he can find or smell where any of you are coming from, although he obviously suspects the tower.
Oh no! Hold your breath, Livy.
The 5 orcs are going to do a very similar thing, although most of them struggle to get up, and pretty much all but one aren't able to make it inside on their turn. So there's basically 4 orcs outside, and now 3 orcs plus a leader inside. And that puts us back to the top of initiative. But before we do that, Warren and Octavius, you're going to witness another volley of arrows come sinking into the inn as it's like pretty much up in flames now. You think of your hard work that you just spent the last 4 days repairing it, and now through this rain, you see it kind of start to smolder and erupt up in flames. You see Morok just yelling out that they're attacking from the northeast, and the guards are sent, and you see another kind of villager come up and say that there's more to the south. Sonny, you go first, and then you start thinking about what you want to do, Dan. But obviously, Sonny on first, and you're on mute if you're trying to speak.
I'm glad I was on mute, because that would have not been PG rated. I don't know, man. We're gonna do some things and stuff, some monk stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna run down the stairs. I got 40 feet of movement. I don't care how far you think those stairs are. It's not more than 40 feet.
You're good.
And I'm going to punch from who she assesses to be the weakest to the strongest. And she's going to flurry of blow, and it's going to be fun.
Okay, so
I only have 4 attacks.
Just to give you guys respect, you see that there's 3 basically regular grunt orcs, 2 of which have been hit by a thunder wave, and then this massive hulking giant of an orc that is Garrosh, the orc chieftain of the Earseeker tribe. And he doesn't look like he's going to go down that easy. But I'm going to actually say that as you do come down, you see that the orcs have several wounds all over them. Even the chieftain himself has like a broken off arrow in his shoulder, which wasn't Livy, because Livy hasn't shot him yet. And they all look like they're kind of have some kind of injuries that aren't necessarily what you guys have given them. So go ahead and do your flurry of blows.
All right. You're just trying to get a TPK here today, aren't you, buddy? I see what's going on here today. You're like, I don't want to play this game.
Yep, 5 sessions is enough for me. TPK, bitches.
All right, yeah, we're gonna come in. It's coming in hot. Oops, I didn't mean to open that.
So we'll say that one of the orc grunts are definitely looking the weakest, if that's who you're looking for. Although, obviously, an orc is still a pretty fair adversary for you guys.
Yes. Well, first we're going to go main hand. Bam.
It's just barely a miss, I think.
That's not going to hit.
Yeah, 13 is your target.
And offhand. Oh, wait, no. Those are not offhands because it's 3 more blows because of flurry of blows.
Yep.
Bam. So.
There's a hit.
All right. I'm going to roll this one again. That's a miss. And
that's a hit. So you got 2 in.
Okay. And then How do I? Where's the damage die? What did that do? Why, I don't know why I did that. 1d4 plus 3. So that's 5
All right.
and
6.
6.
All right. You are able to take down one of the injured grunts. And actually, what I'll just get you to describe is taking one orc down and then hitting another, but not taking him down.
All right, yeah. So I hack at the first guy, and I kind of noticed that I haven't taken a drink yet. So I'm more thinking about taking a drink than I am swinging at him. But I swing, and I swing fast in order so I can take a drink. And then she
Perfect.
does that as her bonus action.
I believe.
So I'm
Flurry of
taking
Blows-
my first drink.
I believe
so.
Flurry of Bros is your. Or we'd said that drinking isn't an action, right?
Right.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just an incidental thing that I could do.
Yeah, we're good.
So as my action thing, I'm taking a drink.
Octavius, you're now up. You are met with Winston, Morok, the two dwarf cousins, and a couple of villagers that are basically making this report to you. Apparently, you guys are getting hit from all sides of the village now, as this orc invasion has just been sprung upon you guys for who knows what reason. Just to recap, you have the orcs at the entrance. You have orcs shooting fire arrows from the north, and what seems like orcs climbing up the bridge that is broken down to the south.
Okay, so Octavius, Winston, and the group, as they come to deliver the news, would see Octavius steal. He would immediately go into basically war mode. He would look at Winston and say, the people in the keep should be able to fend for themselves. When the orcs come this way, we'll get worried. Tell the people to leave the inn. Don't worry about the fire. Fight for their lives. It'll matter. We'll have mercy on us tonight. We need to keep this place safe. We need to bring up the drawbridge. Get archers onto the northeast tower. Get everyone to fight. Get everyone to rally. Meet everyone that they can at the drawbridge until we get it up, and then all the archers, like I said, on the northeast wall. We must finish this off. And with that, if I have enough, I'd like to send a large crossbow bolt at Garath and challenge him to come and fight me.
Garash, let's see how far you are. I believe you have the range. It's pretty far, but let me just double check. Do you know what the range is on a crossbow real quick? Because you are roughly, let me see here. Oh yeah, you're like
80, 320.
Yeah.
Yeah, 80 to 320.
So yeah, you can do so at disadvantage. It's a really long shot.
Fair enough. Basically, if I do hit him, hopefully he'll look at me and there's a challenge. If I miss, then he won't even know that I shot at him.
Yep, we'll see what happens for sure.
Did that? No? Okay, hold on. There we go. Bam.
There you go. So that misses, and yeah, he doesn't seem that tuned to it. But you start barking out orders. The villagers start pouring out. One of the villagers, though, one of the turnip farmers, tells you that their house is being used as kind of like where a lot of people are sleeping because some of the other houses have been killed or just wrecked. So the trading post, actually, which is just south of the town square, is where a lot of people are kind of sleeping. And obviously with the orcs coming from the south, they might get that way, so that's what she's worried about. But nonetheless, you see about three more guards go towards helping the or I'll let you decide. You have three guards at your command. Where do you want to send them?
Can I tell what their primary weapons are?
You would see that they have spears and bows.
I'd probably send the 3 guards to the northeast.
Okay, so they go to assist with the fire arrows. And you still have Winston and Morok. Winston says he's ready to fight and will do whatever you think is best. The children are, just to clarify, most of them are staying at the trading post.
All right, I'd send Winston and Morok to the trading post to protect the people in there,
And are you
or
going
get
back,
them out if they needed to.
and you're going back towards your friends or staying in the town square?
I'll be heading back towards the front,
Okay.
towards the gate. Sorry.
You come up, Warrendell, to Octavius, who's just barking out orders like a general of a war, like a great battle commander. He's sending guards over to the north to defend against the archers. He sends Winston and the Morok, the dwarfs, down towards where the children are staying, and then shoots a crossbow arrow towards Garash, this orc leader, and starts slowly, or probably quickly, walking back in that general direction. You're there to hear everything that's going on, so you have the same knowledge as him.
Mm-hmm. Seeing that he has most of that under control, Warren's main issue, he just didn't want to be in melee with this thing. So he'll get up as far as he can away within his movement there, and then turn around and start unleashing his fire bolts.
All right, so you have 2 more orc grunts and 1 orc leader.
Well, seeing that Octavius wanted to get this guy's attention, he's going to fire it at Ganache, kind of yelling at him too to, come play.
All right, go ahead. Definitely hits. 8 damage.
8 damage. Assuming he sees me, I'll just kind of smile and kind of wave to him, friendly like.
Yeah, you just bolt him with a firebolt, and as it kind of just like singes his studded armor that he's wearing with bits of what looks like chainmail that he's ripped off of other people's and kind of adorned it on himself as like a makeshift chainmail. You hit him with this fire bolt, and he just kind of smiles back at you as he unsheaths his giant great axe and looks like he's getting ready to wreak havoc on the friends or the small cat friend that he has in front of him, who isn't actually that small, but in comparison to him, he's probably quite a bit taller.
With that, I'd stay where I am, or at least stay next to Octavius. I wouldn't go up to him.
Absolutely. Livy, you're now up.
Once more, she is going to look out her little people to look at the orcs that are still remaining and fire another crossbow bolt.
Fire away.
Orc horde number 1 with another hit.
You hit.
Is not doing nothing to deter her.
And are you, just for reference, hitting the guys inside or the guys outside?
Inside, because that way they're not getting further in.
Well, as Sunny is finishing her second punch after taking 1 orc down, she lands like an uppercut on the second orc with her kamas, and then that finds you a great opportunity as this orc is stumbling back to shoot him square in the head and take him down. Anything else?
Just ducking back behind the wall just to try and hopefully keep cover.
All right. We now have Garash, who, as you are taking out the orcs around him, he just lets out a grunt and rears up his giant great axe at you, Sunny, and is going to try to bring the hurt. So good luck with that, because he's pretty good at doing such a thing.
Don't be quiet and just swing already.
Let me target you. Did I target you? I said, let me target you. And here we go. Hit. And he swings twice with his great axe and misses. The first strike comes in and you're able to like jump over it as this whoosh. You just hear the rain being like splashed around and swung almost like this like a jet ski riding on the water. And then as you land, he rears up again much quicker than you were expecting for such a big orc, and lands 15 damage onto you as he just thuds this great axe right into your shoulder. You instantly feel the flesh, this burning pain as he cuts through your shoulder, and then the sickening crunch as he cuts into your shoulder blade.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Next up is the orcs. The rest are going to finish their turn, finally getting there, as there's now 4 orcs inside. I believe that leaves one that's right up on you, though, that was already in, because the 2 were taken down and there was 3 grunts in. So this last one is going to try to, unfortunately, since you're the only one there, hit you. And luckily misses. Next up, though, you hear from the distance someone yelling, and you hear the female voice that you recognize as Alara, and she is going to throw her spear at one of these orcs as she has come in reinforcements, but unfortunately for her, that attack misses. And that brings us back up to you, Sonny. I just did something weird. So yeah, this giant orc chief Garash has just landed a devastating attack on you. You don't know how much more you want to take of that.
And I don't.
He looks at you and says, "Die. This city is now ours."
I'd rather you just have it. I don't want to die. And she takes another drink.
Okay.
So I would like to wonderful. Yeah, we're going to just go ham on. First, I'm going to try to grab the guy, the last. Well, no, that guy hasn't been hit at all, has he? The other orc.
The big orc?
No, the other orc.
There is now 3 more orcs in, which is the last of the horde. That none have really been that injured.
Wonderful.
Although they seem to have other injuries, but none that you guys have dealt.
Okay. After that, those guys, I'm going towards the big guy. If you have flurry of blows.
All right, bring it. And I believe that means that you get to roll on your chart too, since you're getting turned up.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. But don't I do that? Do I do that first or do I do that last?
We'll say after.
Okay. So we'll go.
It's like an end of the turn thing.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Come on. All right. That's
Nice.
critical.
Nice critical hit.
And now, excuse me, I'm so sorry.
Bless you.
Yeah. Well, that always happens.
Crit success, crit fail.
Yeah.
And
Does that hit? 13?
13 misses him, as 16 is your target on him. He's basically wearing makeshift chainmail.
All right.
There you go.
Two crits. 2 crits on that. All right. Now, how do I
The crit
roll
damage.
yeah.
The crit damage is going to roll automatically one time, since your last roll was a crit, and then you're just going to have to, since you did all your attacks at once. Oh, or it's going to make me lie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you didn't roll your actual damage from your damage part of the character sheet.
Well, where's that?
So in actions, and then basically right beside your comma.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. But now that you... Oh, no, it still did the crit. And then now just roll... Click it twice, since it's not going to know that you crit twice. And then we'll take away the modifier the one time, since you don't get double modifiers.
Right.
So that's a total of 8
8,
and what is that?
8 and 8.
16 damage.
Yeah, 8 and 8, so 16.
Nice. So that puts him.
No, and then wait.
Yep.
Then I roll on my D8. So let me roll a D8.
Yep.
And then I can also disengage. I'm disengaging away from this guy. That's an 8. Oh no. Oh no. I am resistant to physical damage until the next turn.
Nice. So you're so
and
drunk that.
yeah,
All right, so you disengaged. Although normally what
disengage
we'd
and
say,
move.
we're gonna say that from now on, the last thing you do is your roll, so that you can't technically have something bad happen and then recuperate from it.
right. Well, I said I was in disengage anyways.
Yeah,
so.
so you're fine. But anyways, you
Okay.
get away. Octavius, as you're heading back towards the fight, what you do notice as the two dwarven cousins are running, you see that an orc, what could only be described as wearing like all these kind of chains and beads and weird things hanging off of it, orc ear or elf ears and all kinds of different ears, and he has this very long kind of shambly hair that covers his face, and he's walking with his quarterstaff, and another horde of orcs equally as big as the one that you guys are just fighting are now starting to head towards the training square or the trading posts, which the two dwarf brothers will shortly meet. But however, you have your own problems to deal with.
I thought the orcs from the south were going towards the keep.
That's what they thought.
Okay.
But as you look, it doesn't seem like they're doing that.
I will run. I will. I will shout towards Lily and Sunlit.
Well, there's a sunlit running towards you.
You're already running towards me?
Yeah. I
Please should kill
disengaged and
them
ran
then.
40 feet.
Yeah, she like busted up. She got the heck out of there.
Okay. I would yell. I would look to Warrendale, and I would say, "Warren, you must help the brothers. Take Sunlit with you." And I will run straight towards Garash.
Oh damn. All right. So you could basically you could run up and get within not within distance, about like 10-15 feet away and ready in action, or you can use your dash action and basically get right up in front of him and be actionless. I'm going to assume that you want to get close and ready in action to attack or something.
I will move all the movement that I can, and then I will fire a crossbow bolt at him.
Okay, go ahead and do so. He is, for the record, bloodied, which means that he's halfway to dead.
Fuck, I missed.
You shoot at him, and he actually sees it coming through the rain and bats it out of the air with his great axe.
He will know that I am coming, though, now.
He does know that you're coming, and he seems very pleased by this. Warren, you see an injured Octavius tell you to go help the dwarfs and Sunny down south as another orc horde is descending upon the village. But as he walks past, you can clearly see that he's bleeding from a spot where the armor hit, or where the arrow hit his armor, and he's just basically like kind of one-arming the wound and heading over there. He lifts up his crossbow, I believe he says, and shoots it at the orc chief, who bats it away, and a crack of lightning streaks across the sky. It seems like those guys are about to throw down. What do you wish to do as chaos is quickly starting to...
The ones to the south are quite a ways away yet, or are they marching up towards us, right?
They are, for the record, at least 2 turns of movement away, and that is saying that they dash both turns.
Okay. And the two brother dwarfs are headed down that way, correct?
Yeah, the two cousins will basically probably cut them off by the end of their next turn.
See,
But it
Octavius
is-
run. Go
Sorry, go
ahead.
ahead. It's just basically 11 versus 2 in that circumstance.
Right. Seeing Octavius move past him, more towards this Garash guy. There's still a couple orcs over there. I'm just gonna drop a firebolt at Garash first, and then move from there. So.
Okay. Nice. You guys are critting like crazy this game. That's really helpful.
It'll automatically.
Yep.
Okay, go.
Oh damn.
Oh, damn.
That's I gotta go to the calculator and see if he actually how bad he's hurt.
Let me know, and then I'll.
Whew. He is barely alive.
Beautiful. So Warren looks around. He sees Sunny coming towards him, and the brothers headed south. With a quick kind of snap around, he'll just launch this firebolt towards Garash, hoping to help his friend. And I'm going to move down towards the south, but try to take as much cover as I can from that little farmy with a little farm acre plantation thing there. behind that building or something, just to get the best cover I can.
And that's going towards the dwarfs?
Yeah, and towards the south there where I can see the other ones.
Okay, sounds good. So you blast Garrosh with a firebolt and then do what Octavio says and head down to back up the orcs. Livy, you witness the orc chieftain himself just get erupted in what looks like a ball of flame. And then as you look, he's barely
I'd
standing.
say she probably like flinched a little bit. She hears this big boom or something and just like, oh, takes a peek out, sees that he's not doing so well, and she's going to actually aim her crossbow at him, thinking, I just might be able to take this one out.
Yeah, if you hit him, you're probably going to finish him off.
Wrong. Okay, cool. Didn't seem to register it. Awesome. Let's try that again, Mary. Gosh, this time. Ew.
Oh, miss.
But
You do have
obviously,
inspiration.
as she's like leaning out to take aim, a big gust of wind just kind of picks up and water just splashes against her eyes and she just offshoots, just and she quickly ducks back behind and to regather herself, wipe her eyes clean, and she will obviously hit her target next time.
Yep, I just want to remind you guys that you have inspiration, but if you don't want to use it, that's fine. I will go on to Garrosh, who sees Octavios, and he looks pissed that he just almost got exploded by a fireball. So he is going to charge at you with a fury. And he meets you in combat and says to you that this village is now his orc tribes, and you all will be killed and beheaded.
Your breath smells horrible.
And he battle axes. This is I almost targeted Sunny. That would have been
I
bad.
can imagine that being like the most obscene thing that Octavius can think of too.
Yeah. Your breath smells bad.
The giants tried to take it from us and they weren't successful.
Whoosh, a big attack comes and slams into your shield as sparks fly across the storm. He wheels in for another attack, doing like this spinning move with all of his force, and this time he gets through. And this is not going to be pretty. Oh. 18 damage as I believe he takes you down. Describe what that looks like, Dan. Unless you don't want to and you're just going to mute yourself and cry. Which I understand is completely okay.
Yeah, well, thanks for catching me early. So Octavius is standing there with his shield, and his armor's glistening in the moonlight that's coming through this rain. And he takes the first hit well, and he smiles, and he's kind of trying to squint off the horrible breath of this orc. And the second blow comes across and hits him, I would imagine, over his shoulder behind the shield, and basically just crunches through. I would imagine the battle axe slams off of the armor, but basically the crushing effect of it just slams Octavius into the ground, and basically as if his friends turn, they'll just see a limp, lying body of their friend.
Yes, just being poured on in the rain.
So you can't tell he's crying.
Next up is the orc horde, and they down to the south, and they charge and will basically be in combat with the dwarfs, probably on their turn. You see that they're kind of just walking with each other slowly. Morak pulls out this giant kind of battle hammer, and obviously Winston has his mace, and they just kind of look at each other and smile. And one of them says to the other, "Whoever gets the most buys the first round." Next up is the orc horde that is in the city now near you guys, and they are going to kick open the door, Livy, as they see you up in your archer perch. They've had enough. They start climbing up, and they're going to swing at you between the three that are left. We'll see if any of them get through, as it's kind of an awkward thing.
Does higher ground give her advantage against them?
It gives her something in the form of the attacks not being able to get through, so only one attack manages to get through on you, as the other miss. And they are going to hit you for a whopping 4 damage.
Ouch! That stings.
However, anyone that is paying attention would notice that the archer orcs that have been bombarding the inn have suddenly stopped firing. for what that's worth. Alara steps up and basically runs to where her spear is, and she's going to try to Jimmy rig it in the back of one of these orcs that are now attacking. Or Garrosh is still there, so she's going to try to finish him off. And she misses, as that's probably going to be awkward for her next round. That brings us to Morok and Winston, who start engaging these orcs in combat, and it's just basically like them at the last moment running into this horde, and you see them start swinging, and just this clash of combat as these two tiny dwarfs run into this massive pile of orcs and start giving it everything they have. That puts us back up to Sunny, who you see your friend Octavius go down.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. And she has nothing to be able to fix that. Should she give him some wine? That might help.
You can make a medicine check, but you'd have to go back in to where Garrosh is.
Yeah. Well, she was kind of planning on just doing a little arc and maybe coming back in and fucking.
He is
going back
bloody
at him
as
if
shit.
needed.
You basically need to hit him to take him down.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn back around and just notice everybody is the shit had hit the fan. But she just didn't want to get there to get attacked again. So we're gonna go at it. Let's go.
All right, bring it.
Directly at Garrosh's face. I want to target him. How do I do that? I can't.
That's a
That
miss.
doesn't hit. That's a hit.
Hits. You have to do not a whole lot of damage, but I don't know if you can do it in one attack.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Let's just do it that way. Let's see.
Oh,
5.
He is on the brink of unconsciousness or death. You figure your blowings again?
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. 6 at his face hole.
Describe what it looks like as you take down Garrosh.
All right. So, that's my last key too. So, so she goes and runs away to kind of assess to see what is going on. She sees that the two dwarfs are going that direction. There's even more orcs that way than there is over near her friends. She's gonna run back where her friends are. So she does so. Gets to where Garrosh is. Has far too much momentum, and kind of runs past him a bit as she swings. He ducks under. She swings with a backswing that feels like it makes purchase right into his midsection. Surprisingly, doesn't kill him. She just turns around. Her comma in her right hand as it's dominant, and goes, "You are a horrible person. Sorry." And she just cuts right into the side of his neck, and he bleeds out all over the place.
Yep.
She takes a drink, so now I'm up to 3, and then I'm gonna roll on the table. Blip, 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 blip.
All right.
Because I'm not disengaging. I'm gonna stand there with my friends.
Gotcha. Uh-oh.
That's a 2. 2 is a drink. Oh, I drank a little more than I thought, and I gained 2 more fade.
Perfect.
So actually, I'm at a 5 instead of a 3.
So, yeah, and you're pretty
Lovely.
drunk at this point. The orc, which is has the cross or the quarterstaff and the kind of long shambly figure, kind of walks up behind the orcs that are engaged with the two dwarfs and does some kind of chant. And you can see this energy exhume from his staff and then shoot out towards the orcs. And as this energy kind of goes around them, you see the orcs get madder and their muscles start to bulge as it seems like he is basically making them stronger. Apparently, when I go to your turn, it makes you auto roll your death save, Dan. So I'm sorry for that, but the good news is that you succeeded. So you got that going for you.
Yay!
And as the rain pours on poor Octavius's unconscious body, Warrendale, you watch these orcs meet these horde of, or you watch these dwarfs meet this horde of orcs head on and start battling against all odds. What do you do?
I'm muted. There we go. He'll give a bit of a nod of respect towards these guys. You know, at least they have the balls to get in there. Warrendale, not so much, though. He's going to kind of keep over on the side of this building. He'll come around, and I'm going to unleash a chromatic orbit. One-eyed bastard here.
Got you. You definitely hit him.
He kind of steps around the corner, lifts his one hand up, kind of towards the sky, and you can see when those lightning crosses across the sky, just kind of arcs down into his hand. With his other hand, he presses it out, and it kind of channels right through him, right into this creature. Let's see which one of these is lightning. And I am going to use my other sorcerer point to reroll those 2 ones.
That sounds like a decent plan.
And what is it? 8s? Was it? Yeah, 8s. So let's see this one. Here's the first one.
That's better.
And here's the second one.
12, 16 damage, if I'm not mistaken.
7, 13, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, 16. I can't math tonight.
Yeah, don't worry. I can never math. So yeah, lightning. Go ahead. You can actually.
I was going to say, and then he'll just use his mech and just kind of swoop back around the side of the building for coverage. And
yeah, so you slam a lightning bolt that almost looks like it's the storm itself has summoned it, only it comes from the ground. It comes from you, and it hits this caster, this Norga, the one-eyed, right in the chest and blasts him back. You see him almost fall to the ground as he stands up and looks for where it came from. You duck behind the building and have basically complete cover from him. Livy, you're now up as 3 orcs are just trying to shamble over each other and climb up this ladder, which you're now on.
Ladder?
Or, sorry, like your tower. You're up in the tower and they're trying to climb up it.
I was so like, she's going to push that ladder. Bye! But, okay. Yeah, so the one was able to strike her. She kind of loses her footing for a moment. But with like swiftness that someone who clearly has been trained for battle or something, but yeah, not her. But she just drops her hand crossbow, and the other hand quickly does up her hair as she then reaches down and draws out her rapier. The first one up front.
You see an ugly orc face kind of pop its way up into this like little kind of climb hole. You can actually swing at advantage, but you hit it anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, sweet! I like advantage. Oh, just in case it's a crit.
Yep, shoot that.
Which is not. So, 16 to hit on that first one, which will do. Sweet 13. And considering that it is 3 against 1, even though she's very confident, she is going to take an action surge to go for the next one that's coming at her. Is that one advantage as well?
You take down the one that first pokes its head and you stab it right in the eye with your rapier, and it drops down, instantly filling up the gap is another one, so go ahead and attack.
Is this advantage too?
Yep. They're in a very awkward position right now.
Just in case it's a crit. Which it wasn't. So another 20 to hit. So let's see if she can take this one out too. With 9. Ooh, cool. It's 9. Yeah, she's not meaning any business as she just quickly pulls out rapier, stab, and another one comes in and she just bounces right back and lunges forward, sinking her blade in, and I believe knocking that one out as well.
You actually somehow with that last attack take down the last 2.
Oh, I know. If it's a tower there on the stairs, it just basically that last one. The second one was able to move around the falling orc and go at Livy, and then when Livy kills the second one, there's 2 orcs now that just the third one just did not see, lost balance, fell down.
Absolutely. So the second Hork that's in the south horde is continuing to fight the brothers, and they're starting to get their licks in. But you see Winston start to channel his divine energy as he looks like he's about to channel his spirit guardian again. You can't really tell which way that fight's going. The orcs have definitely taken some damage, and the dwarves have, as they're kind of locked in. They're basically surrounding these two orcs, but every time someone goes to like stab them with a great axe, they lash out with their hammers and maces at the same time and bat them away. It seems like a standstill. However, the archer orcs in the northeast that haven't fired for a couple of rounds, you hear this kind of stampeding sound, as it seems like they have decided to abandon the volleys and start heading for the front gates also. And now, lucky for you guys, that you will have 10 more orcs to deal with, because I'm a nice guy. But they don't get in this turn. Alara kind of stands and looks at you, Sonny, and asks you, like, where should I go? Where am I best right now? You look and you see an orc horde coming towards you guys as you're battered and weakened, and you look behind you and see that there's an orc horde still fighting the dwarfs. Where do you want Alara to go?
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. We're near the towers again, right?
You're near the front gate, and the orcs that are attacking with Warren are towards the south, basically a little bit up ahead of the broken bridge near the trading post.
Right. Right. Yeah. I would like to. I'd like to put the gate up again.
Okay.
So I'm gonna tell Alara to get up in that tower, and I'm gonna go over to the other tower, and we're gonna make that happen this turn.
All right. So she's gonna head there and basically wait for you on your next turn. We'll go back up to the orc brother or the dwarf brothers, who, like I said, Winston starts channeling his spirit guardians, and you see the energy. Warren would see it again of LaDonna come out and start batting away these orcs, and you see Morok just swinging, and they take down a couple, but you also notice that they're starting to get their attacks in, and the dwarves are starting to look pretty injured. However, Sonny, you're now up.
Yeah, so we're gonna go over and try and get this. We gotta close this gate. This is bad.
Yep. So we'll let Alara do a. Let me actually check her strength. She might be strong enough. If it's over a 10, I'll say she's strong enough. Which it is. So you guys start to Jimmy rig it up. Right. Although it will take you basically until your turn again to get it fully up. Sound good? Anything else?
Yeah. Nope.
All right. Naraga, the one-eyed, is going.
I gotta roll on my table.
No, you didn't do anything that involved it.
Okay.
Octavios, 2 successes. I don't know why it auto does that. I'm sorry, but luckily it's going in your favor. It would suck if it was failing, but at least now it's rolling successes.
I'll make the crits.
Yeah, I will. Right now you got 2 successes. Warren, you're up now. As you've seen that the caster, again, he doesn't know where you are because it's raining and you duck behind a building, but he is now casting another spell which sends out a spiritual spear. And that is one of the attacks that gets through and starts to weaken the dwarf's defenses. It goes right through Morok's back leg and drops him down, and that kind of breaks their line of defense. And it's not looking super good for those guys. What do you wish to do?
Unmute myself again. Seeing this is going down, he knows he has to get rid of this caster. He'll kind of look over his shoulder at the others, seeing more orcs coming. Octavius still on the ground. Kind of grumbles under his breath a little. He'll step around the side of this building, not really caring if Norga sees him at this point. You can see his nose is starting to bleed quite a bit. He's looking a little bit racked with pain. I'm going to use one more chromatic orb on this thing.
Nice. You're rolling good tonight.
I want to see if I can somehow target Norga here. Let's see if this works. Lightning. Yeah. Did
Nice.
it actually target her? Yeah, okay, cool. It worked that time. Pretty much the same exact thing. He just kind of gathers whatever energy he can. You can see the raindrops around him kind of spark up a little bit. Lightning kind of traces across the ground, coming up his body as he unleashes another bolt at this thing, just slamming right into it.
Absolutely.
And with that, he'll kind of step to the side, right behind the side of this building again, and just kind of stare off at where Octavius is on the ground. You can see his racked with pain and kind of worry starting to cross his face a little bit. And do the dwarves look like they have it for the moment, or are they going down?
You could give me a check if you want. I think insight, probably.
Insight? Okay. Maybe let me see that first, because I might move. Let's see. I'm not very good at that, but...
Yeah, you suspect that the dwarfs are slowly losing.
Never liked dwarves anyway. He'll stay where he is this round, so yeah, I'm not moving.
Perfect. Livy, you're now up as you kind of have a moment of being proud that you finished off these 2 orcs. You're met with the sound of a stampede. As you look behind you, lo and behold, another horde of orcs have shown up, as it seems like they're just endlessly attacking this base, the city. However, the draw gate has started to be pulled up again, although this time you look over and you see that they too are once again readying their grapple hooks. And they're much closer this time. They're basically right at the foot, so it looks like some of them might... What's that?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is the drawbridge coming up again? Because she's up in one of the towers.
Because Sunny asked Alara, which is one of the city guards, to go to one side, and Sunny goes to the other, and they both started cranking it on their turn.
Okay, so who's in with Livy then right now?
We'll say Alara.
Okay. Hi, and okay, then looking out, she is going to no, that's not a splash mare, that's a single target, but in the hopes to dissuade them from coming any further, she will shoot a static orb. Alright, let's see. How do I cast the spell? And this is Horde 2?
This is Horde, I believe 3. Yes, 3.
3. Okay, here's the attack. And Horde 3. Take that.
You do hit.
And damage. What are we going to go with? We're going to go with lightning on this wet, rainy day. I think that was on top of them. Cool.
Yep. So describe what it looks like, as the first time we've seen Livy use magic, and you actually kill definitely one and injure one badly.
Kind of taking, I believe Warren had used lightning earlier too, and so kind of taking a little bit of inspiration from that, and just like, I know this might, this is only meant for one, but it's wet. Maybe this will help get me a few more. And she will just target the furthermost with the whipping out a grappling hook, getting ready to launch it. And she'll just target him as she just kind of has this almost effortlessly just little swish of her hand to collect this, ignite this little ball of electricity into her hand, and just almost out the window, just as though it's as natural as breathing.
Cool. So yeah, you explode an orc and injure another one as a crack of lightning comes from your hand. Next up is the orcs fighting the dwarves, and they land some significant blows on Morak. And even though Winston is channeling the Spirit Guardian and it's doing what it can, it seems like only moments away before those guys get knocked down. Livy, as you're up and kind of doing your blast, through the kind of ringing of your lightning that just struck, you kind of hear like that humming for a moment. But then in the chaos, as you hear just like the rain, the thunder, the orcs trying to climb, and the clatter of weapons, you swear in the distance you hear like a horn or something.
Okay.
Next up is those orcs that are trying to get in. And 5 of them are going to grapple hook and try to strength contest you, Sunny. So I'll need you to roll a athletics, as this is just going to be this is going to be pure strength against the orcs. You're on mute if you're trying to roll core. Nice. Even though there's 5 orcs, they rolled the nat 1 and you rolled a crit. So you are able to outpower these orcs. And as the other 5 go to jump, they all miss because you're able to pull up and the 5 orcs fall into the water. Alara keeps cranking on her turn. And the drawbridge is basically almost up. At which point, Livy, you would see that the orcs that have the grapple hooks, one falls to the ground with a sudden thud and just lies down. And then another. And as you look, you hear the whipping of arrows coming from behind them. And the 2 that fell have an arrow in the back of their head each. Next up is the dwarfs, who try to fight off, and they have about 3 orcs taken down, but are in very rough shape. Sunny, you're now up. As your turn, your action can be spent to finally draw up the drawbridge completely.
Yes, please.
All right, and any movement that you want to do / bonus action?
Yeah, I'd like to get that cranked all the way up there, and then is there any on our side of the bridge?
Yes. As you look at the other side of the bridge, though, you see that the 5 that were grapple hook contesting you, 2 of which are now dead with arrows in the back of your head. You look over to the other side of the tower, who you see Livy, and I imagine she probably gives you a shrug or something, as if it wasn't her that did that, because she just did a lightning bolt.
Yeah. She just holds up her hand
All right. I would like to pay attention to see if I can perceive what that is. Can I roll perception?
Yep. You got dark vision, so it's not a disadvantage in the near vicinity. You definitely see a bunch of figures standing behind the orcs, and they're basically on their knees, and they have these bows that are drawn, and they're hooded figures. You can't really make out who they are, but there's about 7 or 8 of them that are behind the orcs, and the orcs have no clue that they're there.
Yeah, I'll just well, I'll say that with my movement thing, so that'll be fine.
All right, here goes Octavius.
I still didn't do anything to have to roll in the chart, right?
Nope. Basically, whenever you spend a key point or decide that you want to drink, so or do something ridiculously strenuous, but you're pretty good.
Yeah, I'm good right now.
All right, Norga. Seeing that the orcs pretty much have the dwarves dwelt with, and now that he's seen you, he's going to command his spiritual weapon on you, Warren. And let's see if it hits. 13 does hit, and he is going to do 6 damage to you as the spiritual spear comes around the corner and just jabs in your side. Everyone pray for Octavius as his last death save comes up. And he's now stabled. Congratulations, Dan. Warren, you're now up.
We're doing so good at being alive.
Let's see.
The dwarves are... Go ahead.
Can I reach Norgra with a movement?
Yeah.
All right. And I assume, I don't know, he, whatever it is, probably is not wearing metal, right?
Let me just double check, but almost certainly not. But I'll check just to make sure. Yeah, actually he is, surprisingly.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to move right up and try to shocking grasp him.
Okay.
And let's see, here's the roll for that.
13 is a miss on him. You can.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my inspiration. I have one left, so.
All right.
Oh, I guess you have to unmark it, maybe. There, it's gone now. And checking. Oh, I have advantage on that anyway.
Oh yeah, so don't spend it.
So,
There you go.
any
You got
better?
3.
No. Is that a hit?
Yep, you just barely hit.
And damn, not as much as I wanted, but that's all right. Mainly wanted to get its attention, so you can see him run up, and he just grabs right a hold of her side of her head. I guess it's her anyway. You know, kind of like hands on either side of her head, and this energy just course through him and just arc down her body.
Very nice.
And yeah, that would be it.
All right, Libby, what do you do as mysteriously orcs start dropping?
She kind of search through the darkness, but I'm pretty sure with her not having dark vision, she just see nothing but rain.
Yeah.
And so she then scrambled to quickly retrieve her hand crossbow, pick it up, aim, and shoot at any standing orc in this horde still.
Okay.
And so let's grab that and horde number 3. Ew, I think she even though you'd think in her haste she would miss, I'm gonna use inspiration.
And you hit.
Obviously, she kind of trips for a moment in her haste, but she is able to catch herself on the windowsill, straighten up, aim, and pop one out. And so Laura for a moment was like, "Oh, she's gonna mess up good," but nope, Livia's smooth as butter, as she clearly just nails one in the eye.
Yep, and you take another down, bringing the force down to just 6 now, but most of them are in the water. There's only 1 actually left.
6. All right.
Next up
Excellent.
is the orcs that are fighting the dwarfs, and let's see how they do. That's a hit. And a hit. Yeah, so Morak goes down, and Winston will probably be going down next turn, as there's still about 6 of these orcs also fighting him.
Okay.
And you're engaged with Norga. The other orc squad is going to climb out, and as they climb out of the water and just see this one orc that's holding the grapple hook, they look towards their buddies with arrows in the head, with arrows in their heads, and you hear them speak in Orcish. Obviously confusion in their voice, and then anger, and they start pointing behind them, not in your guys' direction, almost like they're in a panic. Alara is going to basically, she doesn't have any range, so she's kind of a sitting duck. And the next thing that you guys see, Sunny and Livy, are these 4 figures that step out and with these longbows unleash another volley of arrows as another 2 orcs are dropped into the water. And then you see that the orc horde number 3, the one that is trying to assault the front gate, start to scatter. As they start to scatter, another party of 3 more of these figures show up and start picking them off with just complete and utter precision. 1 arrow each to the head as they are dropped like flies. There's only 2 orcs left at this point. Next up is Winston, who... God damn it. Trying to think of whether he would heal his brother or fight on. And I'm going to say that he fights on, dropping another 2 orcs in the fray, putting it at 4v1. Sunny, you're now up.
All right, so there's no orcs on my side.
No. And as you look to the other side, they were just dropped very promptly. There's only 2 left, and they look like they're retreating.
I almost want to open the door up again. Because if I open up the door, maybe we'll get some reinforcements in here.
You do see these 7 figures with longbows that are attacking the orcs.
I yell over to him and say, no, I don't do that. I run back down the stairs and run towards the middle of the city. Now I'm going to use my
super cat powers. You bolt it to the city with your bonus action and get to the center of the town square with ease.
Yes. Yep, all that happens. Crazy movement, but I'm there.
Yep.
But I can't do anything else. So.
What you see is that Winston is about to probably meet his fate, and Warren is in combat with some kind of like cleric-looking orc. He is
right. Do I have to roll on the table after that? Because that was pretty strenuous.
If you think so, then sure.
Uh-huh.
First things first, Warren, you get a spiritual spear to the back as this guy is now engaged with you. Sorry, I'll let you say, oh, he crit you. That sucks. What does your thing do, Sonny? That's not good.
Too drunk to defend yourself. All attacks are treated like you... Wait.
I would have went down two levels because I didn't have two, right? Or do I just stay at the level that I'm at?
You stay at what you're at. Yeah.
I say where I'm at? Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you're basically, if you get attacked, it's like you just reckless.
I'm vulnerable to the damage, yeah. Yeah, I'm vulnerable to damages.
Oof. He hits you with the spear as he grabs you. You grab his temple and start zapping him. He actually grabs your arms, leaving you pretty much like defenseless, and the spiritual spear stabs in your back. At that point, he's going to take his regular action and try to run his quarterstaff across your face. And I shit you not, I just crit again. Ugh. Well, let's see what happens.
Everybody's dead.
I hit you
I
for
don't know what your guys' problem is.
He drops you, Warren, as you bravely try to save the dwarfs, even though he probably wouldn't admit that what he was doing. Warren is now dropped too. Octavius, you are unfortunately unconscious. That's annoying. I'm sorry. Warren, your first save, it does it for you for some reason, and you got a success. I'll try to fix that for next game. Livy, you're now up.
No pressure. So can she see these creatures now?
Yep, plain as day. They moved forward, and the other two orcs that are left are running away.
Okay. I think Libby had this just like, oh my gosh, thank you. Thank you. We got more in the city. Please come help. And she will then kind of like look probably out to be like, where's the rest of the action going on? Can she see anything close by?
So there's two orcs outside the gate, which look like they're probably going to meet their feet soon. And then behind you, you know that there's something going on. You'd have to move to go see. So if you follow Sunny, you would see.
Yeah.
You're going to hear a voice call out, this kind of deep male voice. Just to let us in so we can help.
Oh, okay. So, right. She's just like about halfway down the stairs and she hears that's like, oh, the pins. And I think she'd call up to Alara, just like, yank the pin. And she'd probably call over to the other tower as well, but with like no response. Be like, zip up just to be like, Sunny, yank. No, she's not here. And yank the pin herself.
Yep. So you yank the pin, and Alara will do the same thing on her turn to yank the other one, and the bridge will presumably fall. You can head towards the town square if you want, or you can stand here to greet whoever these people are.
Oh, I don't think she has enough movement technically.
Yeah, you're actually right for sure. The orcs that are fighting Winston are going to try to finish him off. That's a hit, and that's a miss. So he is somehow just barely alive, as he has his brother or his cousin in one arm and his mace in the other. He loses concentration on the spell, but is still up. The other two orcs that are left from the invading force where you guys are tried to retreat. Alara drops the pin as the gate now for the second time falls down, and this time the chains break off from being released twice in a row without any kind of like letting them down gently, but the drawbridge falls and opens up. First up is the scout party, who drops the other two orcs that are running away, and the second party moves in, and as they kind of greet you, you do indeed see, as the initiative tracker suggests, that they are elves. And walking in behind them is a female elf and a male elf, and the one that voice matches to the one that just told you to let him in says, "Where's the rest of the orcs?"
And Livy, I believe, from just kind of like last, like would point kind of northeast. Like I believe there's some up there that were shooting at the inn, but I think I heard one of my companions order people up that way. Sound like there might be a scuffle coming from the south portion. I'm just gonna be heading that way here soon, anyways.
Yep. The man says to the one party, "You go northeast, and you go south," and basically he motions to follow you. Next up is Sunny. As
Right,
you are not really aware of this.
Yeah, but I moved far enough to get to One Eye, right? That's where I wanted to get to.
You can get to One Eye or Winston's party, but yeah, you can definitely get to One Eyed.
Yeah, let's get rid of One Eye. We're gonna try to take her down.
All right. Go ahead and natural oneer
Not
in the face.
not with a natural oneer.
All right.
100% false.
And you're vulnerable to damage this round.
Oh, yay!
You're slowly getting better.
All right. So that's 2 misses, and you don't have any key points left to spend.
No.
You drunkenly try to punch her in the face, but miss both times. And now, just to clarify, it's vulnerable, right? Not.
It says
I believe it is
drunk
vulnerable.
to defend yourself. All attacks treated like you are vulnerable to the damage.
Yeah. So if she hits you, it's basically like you get crit.
I know, and they're basically like Sunny getting knocked the fuck out. So let's go.
So the spiritual weapon comes in and, of course, hits you. I imagine this drops you as, let me just roll it.
I have to. I've only got 6 hit points.
Yeah, the first attack goes in for 5. And
Oh, wait.
second attack for an 8.
Yeah, I'm
13. You are dropped down like the drunken cat that you are. Warrendale. Feel bad for you.
Olivia, take care of the job, girl.
No, I'm just like laughing. It's like, and here's Livy, just like, I'm an inexperienced adventurer. Ta-da! Oh, why is everyone sleeping on the job? Come on, wake up.
Warren, you got a failure. And Livy, you are left to basically lead these elves to where the combat is. So you can run to the center of the town.
Oh my gosh, Octavius! Can any of you help him?
Yeah, actually, that's a very good idea.
Awesome. And then she'll, why am I dragging Octavius? I want to drag Livy. And then she'd kind of continue on further to kind of see, like, where is the rest of the, like, where's everyone else?
You would see that everybody else is currently also unconscious, as you're the only one awake right now. 2 unconscious bodies stand in front of this, like, cleric-looking orc, and Winston is surrounded by, I think, 5 other orcs that are beating him pretty badly.
She had to use a double move to get to where she is, so, yeah, I guess Nogra, One Eye is probably somewhat in view, but probably not, because rain and darkness.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, no, you're not going to be able to shoot just because of that reason. But next up is those guys are dead now, but these guys are still fighting Winston. So this is for the make or break for Winston. Let's see what happens to him. That's a hit. Ugh. Yeah, he is definitely down. However, for you, Octavius, finally, after what seems like probably an
Wow,
eternity,
that was good.
you feel a warmth to you, and then suddenly a cold as the rain starts hitting your face, and your eyes open as you have a splitting, burning sensation from where Grosh struck you down. But as you now look, you see that a female elf that you recognize as Enoch, the elf that you helped in the very beginning, has performed some kind of healing magic on you and brought you back to consciousness.
Thank you.
She smiles and says you're welcome, and she's glad that she got here in time.
I would look, and if I didn't see my friends, I would just immediately run to where I thought they were, which would be south.
Absolutely. Next up is the scout party. They go up to where Levy commanded them, or not necessarily, not Levy, sorry, the leader. They go that way. Enoch, like I said, healed, and Rond follows you and lines up his bow and shoots it at the orc horde that is attacking Winston because he's impartial. And he takes down one of them with a single shot and then lines up another shot and takes another one down, as he's pretty good at that. Next up is Sunny's death save, as I almost TPK'd you guys.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, it didn't roll your death save, so go ahead and do that.
Oh, okay. Why not? They like me more.
Yeah, you get to roll your own for some reason. Nobody else does.
And that's not so good because I got a failure.
Yeah. Next up is Norga, who is going to move forward and try to engage this elf that just dropped one of his buddies. And let's see if he can hit. Yes. All right. So that goes on as the spiritual spear plunges into Rond as he tries to dive out of the way. He's not quick enough. He readies his bow again. Does Octavius, finally, you're able to act. You see that the elf's in front of you. You pick yourself up as Enoch is healing you, and you look and you see another combat going on just southward of you.
How far away am I from One Eye?
One Eye, you are probably at least a move and a dash away.
So we're looking like within 60 feet, you think?
Yeah, 60 feet would get you to her.
Okay. Because I'm going to fuck this bitch up.
All right.
Octavius, just as he dashes to a certain point, I don't really know where, but when he dashes to a point within some form of sight, he can see the glow of the spiritual weapon dashing into this elf. And it's really all he can see because he is a human. He doesn't have night vision, so he can't see Warrendale down. He can't see Sunlit down, but he can see the spiritual weapon. So Octavius will cast his spiritual weapon. And it has a range of 60 feet.
Nice.
And so Octavius will try to smash whatever he can, whatever he thinks is wielding this spiritual weapon with his spiritual weapon.
Yep, you have a spiritual weapon off against Norga. Go ahead and do that attack.
Oh!
You just barely missed.
And Octavius will continue running as fast as he can towards this.
All right. This is on Warren, who is unconscious. And, it's not looking good for you. And, Livy, you're now up.
Livy will walk up to Octavius, and as she kind of gets right up next to him, aiming her hand crossbow and shooting at Norga. Ooh,
There we go.
So she's almost dead. So describe what she looks like as she dies, because she's at like.
Okay, cool. So like as she's walking up, like she's not really like she is focusing on taking out Norga, but she kind of leans in a little bit to Octavius and is just like, you know, you got really, really lucky. Pulls the trigger and out goes the crossbow bolt, just like right between the eyes, and like, and not even like really seeming to care about this
creature that she just killed now, where it's like, down it goes. Rain's still pouring and whatnot. I'm going to start calling you Tavios because, like, the fact that you're alive, it's a Saturday, your name starts with an O, and you should be dead right now. Like, so you're pretty lucky. We're going to start calling you Tavios to try and see if we can, trick fate. That's why I go by Livy. That's why my grandpa goes by Rin, because Saturdays, there's just something about them for us names with a vowel.
You're a strange girl.
I suppose, but it's for the best, okay? Like, again, it's good to see you on 2 feet.
So
Yeah.
what I'm going to do now is, since this is pretty much unwinnable for the orcs, I want Octavius, since you had to sit out for the longest, to describe what it looks like as these last 5 orcs get taken down by a squad force of you guys, fueled with vengeance, and this elf party. Go ahead and describe it.
Basically, I see this elf party just as they finally get within range of the orcs, they basically just line up. I would have met 4 or 5 of them, and start barrowing arrows, just as many as they possibly can. Since everyone else is down and on the ground, they're just aiming a foot and above, and they're just wreaking havoc upon these orcs. And as arrows just continually go through them, it's continually moving their limbs back and back and back until there's no defense, and they just strike purchase in the right spots, and the orcs all go down from this barrage of arrows from the elves, who basically single-handedly, without help from any of us, are able to just decimate the remaining orc party.
Beautiful. The elves realize that Sunny and Warren are in critical condition. Enoch comes and lands a healing strike on a cure wounds on.
I like that. A healing strike. Bam! You're healed.
Slap to the face. Healing strike.
Wake up!
You heal for 6, Sunny. Enoch then walks over to Warren and kneels down as you guys kind of gather yourselves and look around as you somehow just survived a 32 orc army. This invasion, you can't believe that you actually made it out of it alive. She kneels down and goes to heal Warden. Just like she healed Octavios and just like she healed Sunny. But if I'm not mistaken, doesn't go off, does it, Warren?
Apparently not.
Because you rolled a 7 and a critical 1, right?
Oh, I didn't know I rolled this critical 1, so.
Oh, yeah, I didn't. Oh, yeah, you didn't even know that. That's so bad. The rain pours as you expectedly wait for your friend Warren to get up. He doesn't.
Octavio screams and tries to cast Spare the Dying.
Now, let me read that. Post it in the chat, because that's for, like, let me read it.
Okay, hold on.
Wise.
Because I want to let you work. I want to let this work for you one time in the campaign, but let me read it.
I'm trying to post it in the chat. It's not coming up. There it is.
Let's see. You touch the creature at 0 hit points, and the creature becomes.
What?
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't even show on my side what you rolled. I figured it wasn't good, but
Yeah. I feel bad about that because it didn't show you, and I should have let you roll your own. But you definitely
no,
are
okay.
technically dead. So what I'm gonna do, or Sunny or Octavius, is I'm gonna leave it up to you. You can cast Spare the Dying and basically stabilize him, not even guaranteeing that he's going to live. Just put him in a stable condition where he is very badly messed up. But it is going to be at a great cost to you. You're basically almost going to have to take his death on. And out of game, that's going to do some permanent stuff to you. So
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm like thinking like Livy. where she's
All
like,
Octavius in his mind is swirling is basically this is what he was raised, born, trained to possibly do, is to take on the suffering and pain of others and to help them to hopefully live better, more full lives. So, of course, without hesitation, Octavius will cast Spare the Dying on his friend Warren.
And give me a
What does
religion
that
check.
spell do?
Spare the Dying, regular as per raw,
Stabilize.
basically lets you stabilize someone who is dying. But me and Dan have kind of talked beforehand and let him flavor it a little differently. So in his, because a cleric of ill matter is basically supposed to endure other people's pain. So I'm going to let Dan do a religion check at advantage because this is pretty heroic, and we'll see what happens.
I'm not saying anything.
I'm going to let you say it, though. What do you feel as you take on Warrendel's death?
Oh, what do I feel? Octavius suddenly feels this odd burning and stretching sensation in his shoulders and down through his arms. He can't help it, but as he's pouring all of his energy into his friend, it seems to be drawing life and almost energy and age, if not out of Octavius's torso and arms. As he holds Warren, even though he knows Warren doesn't like to be held, he's just like, fuck it, I don't care, I'm dying, bitch, suck it up. And he just, as he's holding on to Warren, basically his left arm starts to shrivel a bit more than his right arm, as they're both just starting to get weaker and weaker, and wrinkles and kidney spots start to show up on his hand as he's basically losing strength in his arms. And I think that if it's fair with you, Chris, I think Octavius will lose a point of strength.
I already have it figured out. You're actually going to lose 4 hit points permanently.
All right, that'll work.
I rolled it for you.
So do I need to change my hit points, or did you already do it?
I'll change your hit points in a little bit because we're probably going to either quit or go to a break. I know it's really late, but you take on this massive pain as you feel Warren's soul leaving him. And as he's going to the great beyond, what do you say to him to bring him back?
You can't leave yet, Warren. I still have money in my pocket.
Beautiful. And Warren then, kind of in like a spiritual form, I imagine, does drop back into his body. And it's at that moment that you're like feeling for anything, just basically feeling his body for a pulse, a heartbeat, anything. And there's just nothing. There's nothing but rain. But as you take on this searing pain, and you know that you're going too far, you know that if you go like any longer, any second longer, you might kill yourself. And when you're just thinking about giving up, you hear a beat, a very faint beat, but the beat of Warrendel's heart. As you let go, everything that you just explained happens to yourself. The pain doesn't go away immediately. It lingers as you were hoping it would go away. It doesn't. But nonetheless, you hear a heartbeat. But this heartbeat is faint. This heartbeat is clinging on to a fragment of life. He needs something more than this. Something more than the healing that even you can do right now, or all of this that you just did is going to be for nothing. And he will die.
Octavius would look to the elves. Say, please, if there's anything you can do.
They kind of gather around. The one who you guys don't know yet is Rond, steps forward. Enoch steps forward and gasps that Warren, her hero that saved her, is on the ground, lifeless. And she looks to her father and says, "We must bring them. She can help." The male looks to you guys and says, I am looking for Aaron Corner.
Libby, who's been like just in complete awe of what she just watched Tavius do. It's just like, huh? Cortner? Oh, Rin Cortner. Yeah, I that's my grandfather. She kind of looks around like, where did the people run to?
If
sure
you
we can find them, they shouldn't be far.
If you show me Aaron, we may be able to help him.
Rin. If you'd be so kind, he prefers to go by Rin.
I know him.
Yes.
I know him as Aaron.
Okay.
Your friend doesn't have
She
long.
kind of froze her brow.
We must go now at once.
Yes.
If he has any chance. Where is Aaron?
Livy quickly just heads off to try and figure out, like, and she'd start calling out into the night, like, Grandpa!
You would see after a little bit that Rin kind of comes out, and he's actually like, just stretching, and seems like, what's going on? And then, orcs! Wow. What happened here, Livy?
Well, quite the story, I should say. But important matters, though, is this here. He insists to call you Aaron, which I think is, well, as you know, Niall's very smart on a Saturday. But yes, here he is.
He looks at the elf and says, "Rond, it's been a while. I personally planned to come see you, but I guess you missed me so much that you needed to make the visit personally." The elf doesn't really seem that pleased by the retort. But nonetheless, he points at Warren and says, your friend is in very bad condition. She wishes to see you, Aaron. It's time. And then Aaron, your grandpa, looks at you, Livy, and says, I think it's time, Livy, that we finally go on our hunting trip. And he smiles and says, I want to introduce somebody to you.
Okay. Yeah. Now or?
He nods. Yes, now.
Either way, I'll follow. And
And-
she'll probably also like kind of, and she'll go like tell you, I was like, I'll be back. Please don't leave. My grandpa's going to show me. In fact, if you're well enough,
And-
you guys should come. This could be. I'm going to go beat somebody.
He smiles and he says, I think all of your friends are welcome to come, especially that one. And he points to Warren.
Oh, Warren. Okay.
Yes, we must go at once. The weather's not great.
Along the way, Livy is going to regale Grandpa with what just went down and the amazing thing that Tavios just did, and the fact that Tavios cheated death. Like, so you know his name's Octavius. It starts with O, right? So he was dead, but then he wasn't dead, and then he brought back like great details of admiration, and whatnot, and just glorifying the whole amazing fight. And so,
Absolutely. So it's 2:00, guys. This is normally when we shut down. Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Or do you,
the story's so good.
I wanted to get much farther than this, but I kind of mucked up the combat taking too long, and then things went really south real quick for Warren. So are we going to close it down? Yeah, let's shut it down. This is a pretty good cliffhanger, I think. So yeah, we'll pick it up and schedule it whenever we can. And thank you guys for playing. I apologize, the combat went a little longer than I anticipated, but I think we ended on a interesting note that I didn't see coming.
For sure.
So yeah,
No, it's great.
we'll talk about it after the call ends. And thanks for anyone who watched.
Bye, guys.